message. No, wait, someone's calling. Hello, this is Nana.
Alright, what's going on, y'all, man? Welcome back to your favorite weekly anime podcast, man, Otaku Perspective. I'm your host, Jordan. Here with my co-host, man. We got Dwayne.
Yo, what's up,
TJ.
Back in the building, man. What's poppin'?
Yeah.
Theo.
What's going on? Otaku Perspective merchandise.
What's going on, y'all, man? We reviewed the first half of Nana this week. Last week we reviewed Heavenly Delusion, man. If y'all have not seen that episode, man, please go watch it, man. Let's revisit some initial thoughts real quick. Just to hear, we were going to be reviewing the first half of Nana. What was y'all thoughts, y'all experience, if y'all had any prior to going into this show?
I didn't have any experience, but I know every girl that I know that loves anime swore by Nana. It's like, oh, it's one of the greatest animes ever. I've never heard anything bad about it, so I was going in it with pretty moderate expectations.
Okay. I ain't talking too much about my experience with it on the last episode, but this probably be like my third time watching it. As y'all saw, if y'all saw our episode 0, it was third on my favorites list. So a series I saw for the first time a long time ago. Just always loved this series, even with the faults. Like just one that I really gravitated to. Just liking series with well written characters. Always liked this series.
Me personally, I had heard Jordan talk about it a lot before, especially, you feel me, remembering back to like episode 0. So I would say I had pretty high expectations for it. As I started watching it, I remembered a lot of the stuff that was going on, and yeah, I mean, I basically realized that I had started watching this before. I didn't really have any memory of like necessarily like dropping it for not liking it or nothing like that. It was just kind of, you know what I mean, one of the shows where I remembered seeing I remembered a lot of stuff that happened in like the first few episodes, so I knew it was something that I was kind of familiar with, but I still was able to pretty much look at it with fresh eyes. So.
Yeah. Well, for me, I haven't heard about it until Jordan mentioned it, especially on the initial episode. So I had high expectations for this, even though he kind of gave a rundown a little bit last week as a slice of life and not musical, but had some sort of music aspect of it. So, yeah, I was kind of interested in seeing how it was going for the characters and seeing if I enjoyed the show based off that.
All right, y'all, man. For our thoughts on the first 24 episodes of Nana, man, stay tuned. Play that intro.
Here we go. Hey. I'm a real spitter, baby. Give me all the currency. Ain't nobody in this rap game going hard as me. Tripled up my money, niggas say I got that pedigree. You ain't heard by now, let me introduce. I'm switch from 3. When you see me out, hella gas in rotation. I can't even count all these blunts I've been facing. Told that bitch to get up off my ass, up off my case. This ain't even that. Why you switching up the play? Like I won't pull up and dick you down and skirt off, take a race. Why you trying to check me, girl? You know that ain't your place. I've been working, I've been rolling. I'm so sorry for the wait. I've been living in the studio, like that's where I stay.
All right, y'all, man. Let's start getting to this Nana. Just some backstory on it, some background facts. Studio Madhouse. 47 episodes. Of course, today we only was talking about the first 24. Got a MAL score at 8.55. The popularity of this show did spawn 2 live-action movies and a PS2 video game. I feel like with a lot of these like Netflix live-action adaptations, it should be more like shows like this.
I'm going to say this would be a good show with it.
Yeah.
How was live action? You know, have you seen it or not?
No, I haven't seen the live-action movie. It's a Japanese live-action movie, both of them. But yeah, shit like this or Steins Gate, just not with don't have like a bunch of superpowers and shit.
Yeah.
Not that I really don't
Stuff
like.
more grounded.
Yeah, not that I really don't like special effects or like stuff like that in movies, but obviously the budget you working with in something like a Marvel Avengers movie and like a Netflix adaptation is very different. So the special effects and the superpowers and stuff always come out looking very different. Couple note on voice actors. We all watched the dub. Hachiko in the dub is Kelly Sheridan, who voiced Barbie for all those animated Barbie movies. Any Barbie anything is Kelly Sheridan. Nana Osaki was voiced by Rebecca Choquette, who is other most popular character is Sota from Inuyasha. So Kagome's little brother from Inuyasha. Without further ado, man, let's get into the anime itself. Start off with Rose, the famous opening. What you guys think about Rose, the opening?
Rose was fire. Nothing else to be said, man. As soon as I heard the 5 seconds, I was like, yeah, this is already better, man. No, you just keep none of it, man.
Yeah, that motherfucker's hard. I can't.
Yeah, I need your love.
Yeah.
Like a broken
I don't know why I was expecting it to be
rose.
the referees, but yeah, that was fire, man.
Yeah.
Reading from the notes I took, cause like when I watch it, as soon as I feel something, I pause it, I write it down immediately.
Right.
I was like, the character designs are different, not bad, just different.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Happy Nana is annoying as shit. I hope she's not the main character. I don't want to see her no more. I said, Emo Nana's voice was a bit strange to me at first, which I didn't feel later on during the series. But when I first heard it, I don't know, it was something about it.
Caught you off guard? Like,
Yeah,
it didn't
it's
seem
like
to fit, or
no, it fit too well. Maybe that was just off-putting. I was like, damn, that voice fits her face perfectly. Maybe that was a bit off-putting to me. But again, as the series went on, it definitely grew on me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I really had to say. I was like, I just didn't really like Hachiko. I was kind of just like, it's just like this episode was like, I know this is how she's going to be the entire series.
Yeah.
I kind of had that feeling. I was like, I'm not really gonna like her, not because she's a terrible person, but just more annoying than anything.
Yeah, she's like super bubbly.
Yeah.
And it does add on to that. I was also looking forward to how her character progressed through stories. Like, she ain't gonna be like this all the way throughout. There's gonna be some sort of like setback where she gonna have to come to realization, like, all right, I understand how I am and how people are, receive me as, and I have to make some kind of change. And it's like, all right, let's keep that hope there and see how the other Nana goes, and but I just add on to that.
It's so funny.
I see you talking about that.
that nigga said, I knew she was gonna have to realize she's fucking annoying.
which is so funny because like all the characters in the series, they love that aspect of her.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, especially her best friend. It's just
Yeah,
like,
when they likened her to a dog later in the show. Like
yeah.
from the moment that was said, you feel me? I was like, yeah. Then they would even like with the animation put like dog ears and a tail on her or something. Like, it's crazy that, like you said, that is a aspect to her like character that a lot of other people in the show love.
Yeah, as you go on, you
it's
understand.
fine,
You understand why they're like that because they have their own internal issues where they didn't really get attention. It's like, oh, this is somebody that I get attention day, night, mad, sad, pissed. I'm gonna get the same version of her no matter what.
Exactly.
It is kind of like comforting.
dog.
Yeah, legitimately, yeah.
Literally.
So it's kind of sad.
Yeah, I like that. I love this scene. We learned that they're both 20 years old because Hachiko's like texting on the phone really fast, and Nana's like, "Oh my god, you teenagers, man! I don't know how you do it." She's like, "I'm 20. Like we're both 20."
They did have some funny moments in the training.
Yeah, I love the scene where you see Nana Osaki realize that they both had the same name. We see Hachiko answer the phone. She's like, "Hello, it's Nana." And then we had a scene where like it cuts to her and she's like caught off guard. And then it actually doesn't end with the shoji thing. It ends when another scene I love, which is when they go to the apartment and they decide at the end, of course, to become roommates. and they get the apartment together. They go into 2 different realtors.
Starting
and
tomorrow,
see, like,
you and
the
I will be
difference between them.
roommates, Nana.
Just another great scene. Just seeing how like the vet handles the situation,
Right,
the old
and the
vet
younger guy
versus like the younger realtor.
And it's crazy because all the
He's,
younger
like,
guy
trying
had
to
to
get
do
a sale.
was like kind of join in, like you know, when he like, we're gonna do this. Oh, if he had been like, well, yeah, I know a locksmith and y'all can do this and that, they could have probably shared in on the deal. But the fact that, you know what I mean, he tried to dissuade her, like, nah,
Hey,
no.
it was funny though when he was like, you know, old dude saying, yeah, y'all could be roommates, and but it's like, hey man, you know it's gonna mess with our sales. And old man just standing there, just like nonchalant.
Who sale?
Yeah, who sale? My man,
Not
like,
my
hey,
sale.
Right, literally, he like,
hey, you
he like,
gonna be
cause
roommates, man?
your sales
Come
gone.
on.
'Cause
Said they're splitting the room. I'm not splitting this sale. It's my sale. I'm not splitting the sale with you.
I don't
They're
split
splitting the
commission.
room.
We're not roommates.
Right.
Cause you can have your own.
They're the roommates.
I'm
We're
working
not.
for another company.
Yeah, that was just funny to me. And then he just pretty much just took a shit on Hachi, you know, about her being annoying to the other Nana.
Oh, yeah.
And then she kind of just like straight went to just crying, you know, not have to like comfort hers as like a boy problem and all that. And I was like, all right. I was like, all right, here we go. Just how you don't understand what we going through. It was just like so funny to me how she just shamed him.
He's she's like,
You're a public servant.
right. He's like, oh my God, this isn't the time for you guys to talk about, you know, silly, unrelevant stuff. And Nana Osaka, yeah, she gets on like, oh my God, for somebody in the service industry, you really don't have a lot of tact. Like, come on now, dude.
You know, his ass.
Oh, his ass, boy.
But yeah, I like just the way the 2 Nanas click very instantly, and they do a great job of having these 2 characters play well off each other. To you guys' points earlier, I like the opening and ending dialogues from Hachi, and to you guys' point earlier, she does say in this one like, I talked mostly about myself on the train, but knowing like more about you now, you know, that goes perfectly for you, because at that time you probably didn't want to talk about yourself too much.
You probably wouldn't have told me.
Right.
Type shit. Right.
And then one last thing I want to touch on for this first episode, the Shoji having Hachiko move out, and especially so soon. What did you guys think about that?
What you mean?
Like, she gets to Tokyo, and like literally the next day he's like, all right, you're not about to just be bumming with me.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Not only do you need to go get your own job, but you need to go get your own place. Like, you're not living with me. You need to go get your own place.
Yeah, I mean, my initial reaction when he did that, I mean, I just completely agree with him. It's like, you know, you came here empty, you know, no plans at all for what you're going to do here, for what we learned like, on a few episodes. But I just completely agree with him. You know, you got to come here with a plan, get a job. You know, you got to be able to feed for yourself and have your own money to do your own things and all that everyday life stuff. But, I mean, I had no problem with what he said. I thought it was funny how he brought it on to her, and she just kind of like, how she reacted to it was just like, yeah, I feel like I'm that anchor, you know, to his life now that I'm here, and I feel like I got to do more to him, for him, like, support him in that kind of way.
I feel like, because I know, like, when they first talked about it, I guess she, you know what I mean, because she had cleaned this apartment or whatever and cooked food, but he was like, damn, you spent all day doing this, like, right. You feel me? Like, you're supposed to be looking for a job or a place. So, I don't know, like, when that happened, I didn't even, like, I don't know, like, to me, my perception wasn't even that he was telling her, like, kicking her out. It was just more like, you know what I mean? I guess he had assumed that she would have had those plans or had that in mind. So when he brought it up and she didn't, and it kind of threw her off, like, well, damn, you feel me? He like, well, shit, I'm not really wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and then, you know what I mean? Once we, you know, like, really understand his reasoning, like, because I'm still in college, you feel me? If you gonna start living with me, I might as well fuck around, stop going to school and go get a job to take care of you, because, nigga, you know what I mean? Like, we 2 grown adults, like, it's gonna cost money. I'm barely making it now, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I didn't have no problem with what he said. I felt like, you know what I mean? That was coming from a genuine place of just, like, wanting her to be independent and, like, on her feet, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, during that time with them being so young, I definitely understand him being like, all right, bro, you moved here, but like you said, like, cause I can't, you know what I mean? I can't support you. Like, you gonna have to do your own thing. You gotta have a plan type shit. So
A 1-bedroom apartment in New York is not cheap.
literally,
Nah,
literally
that's
type shit. So
2,500 right there.
studio. That was crazy. But yeah, because I was about to say, like, I know later on he like offers her to stay and shit, and especially when they find out she's moving in with Nana, he like, cause I don't know her, you barely know her. Like, is this really the best idea? You can stay here. So yeah, I mean, I never got an idea of like he didn't want her there, or I mean, he would feel a way about her being there. It was just like he assumed she had that plan and she didn't, and that's when it was kind of like,
Yeah, see, I took it out. That was my first glimpse of not that what her perspective of the relationship wasn't what reality actually is. In her head, she probably thought that they were happy together. But I kind of figured, especially seeing like his facial tones and how he was dressed, like, yeah, it's cool you here and all, but I kind of got my own thing going on. That's how I took it. Like,
well, and I, to that point, I would say that you're right. I feel like Hachiko is very like
happy-go-lucky.
Damn near.
A lot of things.
She's out of touch. She's out of touch with reality. Like, and to your point, when bro called her, like, yeah, or I think he sent her a message, like, yeah, I passed my exams. Shorty booked a one-way ticket instantly. Like, all right, I'm on the way. I'm like,
she did.
You feel me? And you feel me? All their friends was like, damn,
she quit in the middle. She quit in the middle of her shift.
Yeah, so like she's so you feel me? Like she was so like. Just, you know what I mean, enamored in this illusion of like, you know what I mean, like we're gonna get there, I'm gonna live with him, it's gonna be so perfect, like, and which I understand, like you're doing a long distance relationship, so if you was doing a long distance relationship for a year and your partner called you like, hey man, I got shit set up, we gonna be able to, our plan is gonna work, we gonna be able to be together, I could understand that excitement, but her shit was just a bit, you feel me, like she was so excited that she was out of touch. I'm like, cuz in real life, you're not. What the fuck? Yeah, you gotta plan shit out. That's when you would be looking for a place. That's when you would be trying to get a job. So when you get down there, you have those things set up. Right. But the fact that she's so like out of touch and so like, you know what I mean, naive, that it was just like you said, she quit her shit in the middle of a shift. Like, hey bro, you close up the store. Like, I'm like, yo, this was wild. There's customers there. She was like, yeah, you help the customers and you lock up the store because I quit, nigga. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, she's like, man, tell the manager to put my last check in my bank account,
man.
Yeah,
and then told me, just direct deposit. I ain't gonna be here to pick up the check, bro. You can just direct deposit. Like, what?
Yeah, that is so Hachi. Just as far as that goes, I didn't really have so much. I mean, obviously for the story, it had to be as quick as it was.
True.
Kind of almost unnaturally quick. Like, why he on her ass? Like, she just got there. The job I was okay with. The living separately to me was kind of like the start of, okay, their relationship not really gonna work out, because why would you want to live separately, like, from your,
and that is true, like,
from
she
your
moving
girl
to the city that you're in,
yeah,
like,
right, from your girl,
yeah,
and
I would
then
assume she's staying
it almost kind of like, first time watching, I'm like, is he like cheating or something? Like, why does he? But you said like he wasn't like super persistent on them living apart.
Yeah.
But he does bring that up.
Yeah, it was just he thought
in
she
that
would
moment.
add
Yeah,
it.
because he like specifically says, hey, before you moved here, you said you was gonna support yourself and be on your own shit. Not really.
That's true, because he had that discussion with like, that would be my main problem is, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to do what I wanted to do or study.
Yeah, it was more like he was
taking care of.
Yeah, he was trying to hold her accountable for what
exactly.
she was saying.
What she needed at the time.
But I still think from his mannerisms and stuff like that, you could tell earlier. It's like, yeah, I'm not saying he's not happy, but you can kind of see where the relationship was headed. Even
I feel like early on, especially in those early interactions, like, you feel me? Like the first couple episodes, like whenever shows you would get quiet, like, and she would obviously have said something that would make him feel away or hurt his feelings. I felt like that was kind of their relationship dynamic. And even though it's fried, I did write down in my notes, like, seems they won't last, ? I just felt like as I seen their dynamic, I just kind of felt like, well, you know what I mean? If he's not being communicative and he's shutting down when you hurt his feelings, and you gotta, you know what I mean, you have a habit of saying shit you don't really mean, or saying shit you know what I mean, in a way that you might not mean all the time, that's hurting his feelings. I'm like, cause this isn't healthy. Like, that was one thing I noticed, like, this is not a healthy dynamic as far as communication and shit. Like, y'all, you feel me? I'm like, y'all not really on the same page. Especially when Hachiko would say some shit, and then her internal dialogue would be like, damn, I see his face, I shouldn't have said that. I'm like, cause an adult would be like, nigga, Be like, damn, bro, I'm sorry. I did kind of sound like a dickhead there. My bad. If you feel me, if you really feel it, that's just me personally. I would be like, bitch, say it. Like, if you feel it, say it, because that would probably stop a lot of the problems they ended up having.
Yeah.
But since something like that would happen, and she would just be like, oh, and be sad and go home, I'm like, well, nigga, this problem is gonna fester, obviously. You know what I mean? And they both have a habit of like not saying shit until it like bubbles up, and then they kind of explode. So.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this Hachiko backstory, man.
Yeah.
We see
original game.
We see Hachiko. This might be the first anime ever where they're graduating from high school in the second episode. Oh my! Already the high school graduation so soon. But no, they graduate from high school. They go to college. We see Hachiko kind of reminisce about this relationship she had with this guy Takashi, this old married guy. That she was seeing while she was still in high school. They break up on like the day before her last day of high school. Her and her best friend Junko basically end up going to an art college after high school where she meets Shoji and Kyosuke. Shoji being Junko's old friend from middle school. Kyosuke being Shoji's friend in the art school. Basically, they kind of start to form this friend group. Nana, after, her whole thing with Takashi, and we do get like a small like scene where she goes through her whole like boy crazy backstory. Like, it was the pizza delivery guy, and then the guy at the video store.
She had got drunk.
All these like unrequited crushes that she had on people. And they sort of like start to form this friend group, and Hachiko basically tells herself, I'm going to take it slow. I'm not going to just like instantly fall in love this time. Me and Shoji, we're just going to be friends. Yeah. I'm going to basically prove to myself that it's possible to just be friends with a guy. Obviously, this kind of festers on. Shoji gets upset and has building frustration that he's been friend zoned. Yep. And that basically topples over towards the end of this flashback arc with him kind of like snapping on Hachiko about being selfish and wanting their relationship to more or less be on her terms. And then by the end, she kind of just like folds and they start a relationship. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think of Hachiko's backstory or her flashback?
The first thing I read, especially after watching episode 2, I was like, I wrote "Happy Nana's a sugar baby?" LOL. Because it had no context. She's just going meeting with this older man late at night. She get the call. She get in the car, and I was just
Crazy thing is, it's not even a sugar baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like,
this nigga's cheating on his wife, and that's the girl he cheated with. Like,
that was like my legit initial reaction was like 3 minutes within episode 2. I was like, damn, she. I was like, okay, so it's like maybe she. I'm not trying to say she's a lady of the night or nothing like that, but she definitely goes through different times.
Like, already, like you with a teacher. Like,
I'm not.
I guess, Shawty. Even Junko was just like, hey, it's.
I ain't know we gonna hate.
I ain't gonna lie. Now, one thing I did think was fraud as fuck. In episode 3, bro, where they were, like you said, they were visiting Tokyo. Shoji had just blew up on her and shit. He left her ass in the middle of Tokyo. This nigga just apologized.
He was so salty. He was so salty.
But that's what I'm saying. I literally put Shoji blew up on her ass, rightfully so. But I just think it's Friday after she had the conversation with Takeshi. She told the nigga like, "Hey man, stop cheating on your wife." And this nigga said, I'll try. Dude, that shit was so funny to me, bro.
Stop messing with minors. That's what she should have told you.
Right.
Man.
But what's the age of consent there though? It was probably not. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right.
It was 13. It was 13.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For our culture, that's wrong, but for them, that's normal.
No.
That's one thing that rubbed me wrong.
He definitely got. Hey, he was doing his thing. Hey, baby, I'm about to pull up on you.
And that's the thing that rubbed me wrong about the show. I feel like, especially like in the first few episodes, at least in the first half, she didn't really get no one was telling her to take a lot of responsibility for a lot of shit. She was playing victim the whole time, and everyone was kind of just feeding into it. Oh no, it's his fault. It's his fault. Don't worry. But that was later on. I mean, like in the first handful of episodes, it kind of just seemed like
because even Junko and when she
In the
was
bathroom.
in the bathroom, just like, hey,
Junko was on her ass,
she was
yo.
giving her like the little pep talk, like what you're doing is just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even when she gets to Tokyo and she just started talking to her, and when she meets her friends, she's like, hey, I know a guy that he's really cool and all that, and she kind of just looked at him and just saying, you know, nah, he's just a friend. Nah, he can't be no more than that, you know.
Yeah. I don't know if I do that again.
Yeah, well, it was really Junko that told her, like, cause like men are like, you can have male friends, like you're always falling in love. You know what I mean? That you feel are attractive and you fall in love. It's like, cause you're looking at them as just males. Like they're still people. Like you can meet somebody that's a man and just he'd be a cool person and y'all be friends. You don't have to
that's
always see that potential in every person. And that's
You
why
don't
she
have
was
to always
like,
just be about sex.
yeah, exactly.
Right,
and that's why
right.
she kind of was like, all right, well, bet me and Shoji only gonna be friends.
But that's more advice. That's not really holding her accountable for her terrible decision.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, are you saying like
true.
no? Okay, I guess you could say that nobody's holding her accountable, but I feel like.
No, nobody.
I mean, I feel like that's life. Like at the end of the day, bro, you can make, you know what I mean? Like you can make bad decisions all day. If you're coming to your friends and family and you're like, this happened. I'm like, oh, somebody might hold you accountable. Somebody that really knows you and knows the intricacies of the situation might be like, yeah, nah, Dwayne, you tweaking, bro. You should have did this, and this. But if you come to me and you say, man, T, this happened, man. I'm going through this. The girl did this to me. The girl did that to me. I'm gonna be on your side. You're my friend. I'm gonna be like, damn, bro, she fucked up. Now, if you feel me, now if I get more context and I'm like, well, damn, Dwayne, you ain't telling me you was doing this and that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, with that being the case, like that's everybody. Which you're right, she is acting like a victim, but I'm not gonna fault nobody else for holding her accountable because they take her at face value. If you come to me and you like, bro, I'm a victim, this happened, I'm like, damn, bro, that's fucked up. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm not gonna think, well, what did you do? He smacked you, what did you do? I'm like, damn, he shouldn't have smacked you. That's crazy. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So that was just kind of my perception was like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yes, I definitely thought it was fault in what she did, but I mean, you feel me? Yeah. I'm like, cause that's a lot of women at the end of the day, cause they complain about the niggas they with. I'm not gonna be like, well, how are you in the relationship? I'm like, damn, if cheated on you, that's messed up, man.
Yeah. Hachi definitely has to learn a lot of lessons.
Right, yeah, she definitely has
the hard way.
a lot of growing to do, for sure.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying.
As long as we all...
That's for sure. Yeah, she definitely had a lot of growing to do.
But that's what I was saying earlier. I was hoping to see that character, you know, just learn life lessons, stuff like that.
She learned the hard way.
She does,
She learned the hard way.
Exactly, yeah. She had to learn the hard way. She had to go through that shit and be like,
as long as you're all on the same page, she deserves some blame. I just want to make that. I just want to make that
never
clear.
said she blame free.
Yeah, like
she's definitely goofy.
5%. Oh, like
yeah, she's definitely goofy.
With the Takashi situation specifically, that's what we're talking about.
Well, we can talk about that specifically. Then 5%. I can see why you would say 5%.
I'm just talking about specifically the situation with Takashi because like bro, that's a grown ass.
That's what. And that's what I'm saying. Like you feel me? I'm like,
he wild.
I can understand.
I didn't know EDP was gonna pop up in this show.
What's wrong with this?
We got anything else for Hachiko's flashback backstory? What do you guys think of Junko and Kyosuke's relationship?
I think they're the most like healthy and mature so far. Like as we've seen, I feel like they were a good display of like,
right.
You know what I mean? And even though it's, you know what I mean, I could attribute that to say like, well, Hachiko isn't like Junko, and you feel me, Shoji isn't like Kyosuke, so obviously their relationship could never mirror theirs. But I feel like for the type of people they are, they seem, you know what I mean, to be very communicative. They seem to be more mature. They seem to be more considerate of each other's feelings.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I liked it. I like both of the characters.
Yeah, I definitely like both the characters, especially when Hachi was drunk that night and he woke up just seeing both of them about to make out. I just thought that was funny because she was just like, you know,
right.
we're just friends, ain't nothing going on. Then it's boom. Right. Oh, okay, but yeah, that's what T's saying. Definitely mature people in the friend group. I definitely see that.
Yeah, they kind of got like this old married couple.
Yeah. I was gonna say I could see them like getting married and like I would say if nothing happened to their relationship and the show ended and they were still together, it wouldn't surprise me. I'd be like, I could see that.
Yeah. I definitely questioned their nationality because there was one episode where he was wearing like a Jamaican headband. I was like, maybe.
I seen the dreads and I just figured like, okay, they got some black people.
Maybe like half black, half Japanese.
Or something like that. Yeah. I figured they were some like minority or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely healthy and mature would be definitely 2 words to describe their relationship.
Hell yeah.
To me, one thing that is like kind of weird to me, it doesn't even seem like Junko and Hachiko would be friends.
Yeah.
Because their dynamic is just
So
Hachiko runs and complains to Junko. Junko's like, oh, here we go again. And kind of gives her like a harsh like breakdown like, hey, man, come on, bro.
Yeah. And I also feel for Junko because it was just like, damn, just like we said, Hachiko coming to her, all with her problems, all that. It's like, all right, eventually Junko's going to get tired of your stuff and she's going to blow up. And we're going to see that next episode. But, yeah, that's how I was feeling about that. I was just like, all right, Junko eventually going to be that friend that tell you, like, hey, I understand your problems and complaints, but, you know, running to me isn't going to solve anything. You got to figure it out yourself. And that's how I was getting that from the audience perspective.
Okay, now to get into the more interesting character so far. Nana Osaki, getting into her backstory. Another snowy night we see, going into her hometown. Nana talks about how she was raised by her grandmother, abandoned by her mother, and basically just fighting like nasty rumors at her high school about like who people thought she was.
She got kicked out of high school.
To eventually playing shows in her hometown with the band. We see the origins of her and Rin's relationship. We see the origins of Blast basically as a band, them recruit Nana, and then eventually, of course, the tragic ending where, you know, Rin has to break the news to everyone that he's being scouted by Trap Nest, and then he's going to decide to join, and he's got to leave and go to Tokyo, leaving everybody else back in their hometown, basically with nothing else, and basically the band got to break up.
Type shit.
What do you guys think of this flashback backstory?
One thing I would say about just Nana in general, I thought it was interesting how the show kind of went out their way to be like, Nana's cool, but her singing is kind of mediocre. I don't know if that was just me, but I feel like that was pointed out a lot, especially like in the first half. And it was like, yeah, her voice is cool, but it's nothing great or spectacular or nothing like that. Like she even said she went on her way, like, oh, I'm gonna go take singing classes because she kind of felt like she needed it.
I think to that point, I think the show, like my perception of that was like the show was trying to basically just emphasize that she's not necessarily like a natural born,
right?
You know what I mean, generational talent singer. Like you said, like if this is a dream of hers and she really is gonna want to do it, she's gonna have to take singing lessons and she gonna have to really like grind for that shit. She can't just, you know what I mean, wake up and, you know what I mean, the best singer that motherfuckers have heard in a while type shit.
Yeah, I like her monologue at the very end of this. Just going off her singing, talking about her singing at the very end of this like flashback arc where she's like, you know, I never sang for Rin. I always sing for myself. You know, I have been and I always will. You know, just sing for myself.
Oh yeah. Oh, you talking about when she was at the bookstore talking to what's his name?
Oh, Noble. Yeah.
Yeah, Noble. Yeah, I like that scene in particular because Noble was just like begging her to just go to Rin so we can just all as a group just stay together. And it was like, all right, I understand what you're saying. Noble seemed more like the child in this group, and I was getting from it.
He seemed like the Hachiko in their group.
Yeah. Well, not as bad. Not as bad.
He ain't that bad. He ain't that bad.
Right. I'm not saying that because he's not in your face.
In this flashback, he's not terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But this flashback, he's not like that. He's pretty cool. Yeah. He's pretty cool in this scene. I see what he was going through for his perspective, just keeping everybody together. It's just like it's never like a family at this point. He even feel like he even feeling bad for Nana just because of her situation at Rand leaving, and he probably feels like, you know, like hey, like Rand's leaving for doing the best for himself. I feel like we all collectively could do just that. And even Nana kind of was like, yeah, we can do good, but I mean, what he does isn't, I mean, has to associate for me because I'm also a grown woman. You know, we're all grown here. We got our own little paths to follow. So just like I was saying about, you know, I got my own voice I see for myself. I never do it for anybody else like that. But even then, you can just tell from all his perspective, she actually has just that heartfelt for Rand actually leaving. Even told that he's going to be there for like a day or whatever, but come back until he make his final decision. So.
Yeah, I think, trying to think. As far as like the flashback and everything, I don't know. I liked it because obviously, you feel me. I was, the first episode was just with Hachiko, so I was kind of fiending to get Nana's backstory and like, like we just see her a couple times and then, so I was definitely waiting to get to this backstory or this flashback. I liked it. I really liked her character. I felt like they really explained where she was coming from. And it's crazy because like when I made that comment earlier where I felt like Nobu was literally like the male Hachiko, because I'm not gonna lie, in these couple episodes that nigga was annoying the fuck out of me, like really? And it was, to me, it was so crazy, like, but I mean also I guess they just used that to kind of emphasize like how mature and understanding the other members of the band were as far as Ren's decision and everything going on.
Because the ball dude.
I'm not saying like I love
my boy right there.
I love Yatsu, and you feel me? Yatsu had to break it down to him like, Ren been doing this. He been playing band before you was in his band. Like, you feel me? Like nobody's gonna stand in his chance. Nobody's gonna stand in his chance of making it, and that's that nigga goal. And then Nana had to break it down to him like, I love him. But, bro, I got dreams of my own, and I don't want to ride this nigga coattails. I don't want to just be a housewife of a rock star. Like, I don't want to be waiting for him to come home from tours and shows, nigga. I want to be doing tours and shows.
Because she was just like, I don't even know how to be a housewife.
Yeah, literally. So I feel like, and so that's why I said I kind of felt like they were, and it was crazy because the whole group was really on his ass, like, bro. You feel me? Like Yasu was like, that's not really my dream. You know what I mean? Like I'm more practical. I'm gonna be a lawyer. I'm gonna make money. You feel me? That was really Ren's dream, and Nana definitely had the same. You feel me? A similar dream. But they was like, no, boo, bro, you come from money, so you're. It's like we're poor, not poor, but we had a rough upbringing. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to really make it. We're really grinding, and you're just like, you know what I mean? You're like the kid that grew up in a nice house, and you're coming to the hood to the studio with us, and nigga, you're shitty at us because we might have to get more practical, but it's like you don't even have to worry about that, cuz, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, because he always
whereas almost like Hachiko, like,
you
feel me? Hachiko was like, well, I want to go to Tokyo, I want to do this, and niggas is like, bro, you should find something you really want to do. Like, we're going to do stuff we really have a passion for. We're going to do stuff we really want to do, bro. You're bullshit. And that's kind of the vibe I got from Nobu. Like, that's why I said it on these episodes, he was definitely annoying the hell out of me. Just as far as that, just with him not being as mature as the other ones, but he definitely grew on me. Like, I don't like him or nothing, but just in these moments, it was kind of frustrating me. Like, bro, like, you feel me? Like, how are you this dense? Like, how is niggas having to break this down for you? Like, but, I get it. Like, that's cool.
As far as Noble and these flashbacks, I definitely did, upon like maybe my first two watches, kind of share that sentiment.
Yeah, right.
Just like being more in depth with these characters and seeing it so many times, I kind of got a different perspective of. Noble is more outward with his feelings. You know, learning more about these characters later on, it's fair to say at this time, none of the members of Blast wanted the band to come to an end.
Right.
But everybody's so caught up in, you know, if it's Nana, maybe it's her pride. And Yasu, maybe he's just like, you know, he doesn't want to come out and say it. But Noble is the character in this kind of group who will unabashedly like come out and say like, yo, what the fuck? We need to stick together. I don't want the band to end. And everybody else is just, you could kind of say like, you know, mature enough, or they might have their own specific reasons to where they don't want to just like outwardly show that they're like kind of fucked up by this. But he's going to outwardly show like, nah, bro, like what the fuck? Like, I'm not fucking with it. Like, so I can see why people could say like, oh my, he's annoying. He's like kind of the crybaby of the group. But when you kind of get to know the characters more, you're like, it's fair to assume they all felt this way.
Right.
Noble was just the only one that was just going to be like, you know, he doesn't care. He's unfiltered. He's going to say how he feel. Everybody else might be filtered by different.
Sleeve for real.
Right. Everybody else might be filtered in their speech by different aspects of their personality. But you know, not Noble. He's just like, I'm gonna say what I feel.
Yeah.
I feel that.
That's how I felt about him in this flashback.
Yeah, I took it more like Jordan's perspective. I didn't take it more as he was annoying. I felt like he was kind of being hypocritical and didn't know it because he was the one who said, "Oh man, this is my only chat. This is my only shot. I only want to do music." And everyone else is like, "Yeah, you say that, but you got this multi-million-dollar hotel you can follow."
Don't work out. You're not
That's why they look at him as a hypocrite. He's like, "Man, you gotta say that, but I'm not feeling that." Obviously, we're all kind of feeling the same, but for some reason, Nana and no one else want to come out and say it. So I'll be the one that says that this is bullshit. We all need to stay together. All of us want the same thing. I understand. This is a big opportunity for him, but who says that we won't get the same opportunity too? But I understand both sides. I like Nobu. I feel like in this flashback, it kind of because first at the start of the fight was a damage showing a lot of emotional maturity from Nana, but after seeing that conversation between her and Nobu, it kind of was like maybe she's not as emotionally mature as I thought she was because she's not even outwardly grasping her true feelings because she was letting her pride get in the way of her true feelings. Her true feelings was dragging him off of that train and like, no, we're staying here, we're going to do this here. But her pride wouldn't let her do that because she didn't always want to feel like she's in his shadow.
Yeah, that's why.
That's how I took it.
Yeah, that's why I brought the bookstore scene from that, and especially add on to Jordan's. Also add on to Jordan's take about Nobu just being childish and being more vocalized in the group, and everybody else is holding the feelings back, just like Dwayne said. When you see them all on the subway station, that platform, you see Ren. I really thought Ren and Nana was about to go to Tokyo, and then she dashed off.
Right.
It is a good. It's
a great fake out scene.
And I was like, oh, then she dashed off. She's sitting there, having a meltdown, and Nobu was just like, got the cigarette still in hand that Ren gave him, and he's trying to chase the train down. You see Ren just broken down right there, just like, damn. Like, he didn't really hold it down together. He was just just as heartbroken, just as Nana. I was like, all right, I got you, bro. I got you, scene, man.
Bro. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but I can understand why you say that, though, T.
And to that point that you said about Nana, I guess I can see your perception of that. I feel like, I don't know, and that's the thing, too. I feel like, maybe like later on in the show in the second half, maybe that's something that will be touched on or brought more prevalent, but I feel like in her conversation with Nobu, there was a lot of pride of not wanting to be in his shadow, but also I didn't look at that. My perception of that wasn't like a negative, it wasn't a negative perception of that pride because I felt like also with that, like I don't want to live in his shadow. She also was like, because I want my own career. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I understood that way more, and I was like, I'm like, well, damn, like if I was dating somebody, we had similar dreams. We were both in the same industry or whatever the case may be. I could see how, I could see how you're battling with like, all right, I got love for you. I might be in love with you, but I feel like the love or hope of like your dreams or your aspirations for some people is as strong as as somebody would have love for somebody else or something. So I just kind of chalked it up to that, like, which is why I was like, I literally wrote down like Nana is standing on business even while she's having doubts type shit, because I felt like her, you feel me, like letting Ren go and deciding to stay and take singing lessons before she's like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna try to make it now. I felt like that was really her like standing on business and being true to herself and what she, her dreams and aspirations were, and not just being like Hachiko or not just being boy crazy, like, this is the most important thing in my life, because at the end of the day, because love comes and goes, but, you only going to be young once, like, if you got a chance to, do something professionally or chase a dream like that, I would 100 times be like, bro, fuck that other shit. That's going to come and go, bro, but that would be something that I would want to see somebody, like, pursue, I guess.
Yeah, it's understandable where you got this. I'm not saying you're wrong. This from my perspective, my first watch through, I kind of took it as like, yeah, she's outwardly showing that she's this super strong person, but she's really a bit emotionally immature in a lot of other ways. But I understand both sides.
Yeah, I would say her pride in and of itself isn't a negative thing.
Right.
The reason the show kind of like almost paints her pride in a negative light is because she has a bad habit of letting her pride get in the way of what she really wants or her own happiness. Like, it's not, a bad thing in and of itself to be prideful, but when you are so prideful that you letting it like negatively affect your life and your mental state and everything else.
You're doing too much.
Right. Yeah. You're a little bit too prideful, and that's what we have here with Nana, definitely.
Yeah. Everything in moderation.
For sure.
All right. We got anything else for this flashback? All right.
Make it happen.
Let's get into episode 6, 7, 8. More 7 and 8 because 6 is a repeat episode 1.
Right.
What you got have for like 7, 8? For 7, I absolutely love this episode. This is one of like the 10 out of 10 episodes for me. Just seeing both Nana as like their friends and they like friend circle help them move into the apartment was hilarious. Especially the scene they get there and Yasu answers the door and they're kind of like thrown off like, and Nana's like, oh, we at the wrong apartment. Hold on, come on, y'all. And then Nana comes out the shower and she hears her voice. She's like, oh, never mind, this is the right apartment.
Yeah, because they're like, man, you got scammed, man. No, it was too good to be true.
Right, because the apartment's so cheap.
Right.
Yeah. And Yasu's kind of like still standing in the door while they're talking, and Juko's like, hey, go in. Like, it's your apartment. You paid the rent here. Go in.
Yeah, like, go in.
It's hilarious.
No, I definitely love that episode.
Yeah, bro. I love Yasu, bro. Especially like his look, bro. It's like, oh, yeah, he's a lawyer. It's like, he's a lawyer. Yes.
He do what now?
It's like, man, I'm never hiring this man.
I love that.
He's golden, bro.
That scene is so funny to me where they like both grab the Nana's heads and like make them bow because like they're doing the parental role.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is my kid, man. She bad as hell, man.
Sorry.
Whatever. But no, that scene is hilarious. And then obviously, of course, to Dwayne's point, Yasu being a lawyer, to hear him talking to Nana, like, I took care of like all the paperwork side of things for y'all. Y'all should be set to go. The utilities about to get turned on, whatever. And they like, oh man, as long as that Yasu guy's here, man,
yeah, good.
Hachiko will be all right. We can leave her here. Because at first, start of the episode, they're like, we see Hachiko's friend group like, you moving in with a total stranger. Like, what? They just kind of thrown off by it, and then they kind of see and they like, okay, she in good hands.
Was this the episode where we got to see what's name's perspective when he told Hachiko to leave? Or was that later on, where like he went into the bathroom and seen that all the cleaning Hachiko and stuff? Was that this episode or was that?
That might have been 7. That might have been 6.
Yeah.
Because all that happened in 1, didn't it?
I don't think that was 6.
I can't remember.
It was in one of these, but yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like that was important because I also emphasized, like, for me personally, it's like, damn, what Hachiko was saying is a bit different than what he was feeling when he was going through. Like, from his POV. Like, I love, like, I didn't, like, enjoy her story, but I like seeing everyone else's POV to see how out of touch and out of reality Hachiko really is from what everyone else actually sees. And maybe how out of touch with emotions, like other people's emotions from other people, because she was like, oh yeah, moving to my boyfriend, it's gonna be so great, he's happy, he loves me.
She's just so self-centered
That when they actually give you a point of view into other people's minds and how other people's feelings, it's kind of like, damn, like she's way off base. Like she's not very thoughtful or considerate of other people, especially in these first few episodes.
Especially in the scene where when he was like, oh, take a bath with me. She was acting like it's the end of the world. She was explaining it to Nana, and everyone else was kind of just like, oh, it's just like, what you freaking out about? It's just like how she feels is so different than how it should be. Like everyone else, like, you're definitely overreacting. It's like, it's a 10 to you, but in all reality,
she's very dramatic. Yeah. Junko calls her dramatic all the fucking time. Like, you're fucking dramatic.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Right.
I mean, you've seen the beginning of the episodes, man.
Yeah, Nana really moving into the apartment with like zero anything really stood out to me. And then Hachi's like, oh, you're cold, you can borrow one of my sweaters. I got a bunch of stuff. She's like, oh, you must be rich. Look at all the luggage you came here with. And she's like, yeah, Yasu's going back home to get the rest of my stuff. I came here basically just with my guitar.
Right.
The shopping in the next episode.
Oh, my God.
Oh, another great episode. That OST. Oh, my God. The OST that drops anytime they, like, have a trap nest moment or, like, Nana reminisces on Trap Nest. I love that scene. They going shopping, and then they stop into the music store, and we get the reveal that Hachiko's like, oh, I'm a huge Trap Nest fan. And that scene when Nana Osaki sees the poster and sees Rin on the big poster is like,
Oh my god, I love that scene so much. That scene is so crazy. It's so well written. And she drops her lighter in the middle of a store.
Yeah, because I was kind of questioning, like, what, like, genre the music is. You see Hachi Kosuke's like, oh, I'm not really in, like, super hardcore rock. When you see Trapness, when you see, it's like, yeah, that's some rock, screamo kind of music. It's like, so what kind of music actually is? At the time, I was kind of questioning, because, of course, we hear, like, some music here and there, but it's just like, I don't know, I feel like Nana's music isn't too far off of that. And I feel it was a little weird for Hachiko to be like, yeah, I'm not really into that kind of music. But Trapness, though, I can do that. But it's like, they seem pretty similar.
Yeah, well, I mean, Trapness got Reiwa with lead vocals, and then you think like the like heavy screamo death metal.
Yeah, because
like,
it's supposed to be like
I
punk
think
rock is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but it wasn't really like that.
So I feel like, and I think that's the point the show made was like, Blast, like they're not a traditional like punk rock band. Like they're not hella screamo and shit. They're especially with Nana being the lead singer, and I feel like the show definitely like kind of, what am I trying to say, like mirrored them with Trapness, and like George said, like kind of was like, well, Trapness is like, that's why them seeing Trapness become popular and do their thing kind of made them rivals and made them be like, well, shit, we can do the same shit, because they're kind of in the same genre, but they're both like outliers and being, you know what I mean, a bit more like alternative and not just like hella screamo, like head banging type music type shit. Especially like when they first concert, like when everybody was like, yeah, all the good punk rock bands is gone, we about to leave, and then Junko and Kyosuke was like, well, damn, this punk rock, like this gonna be a long night. But when them niggas got on stage, they was like, oh, okay, damn, these niggas are not, you know what I mean, like traditional punk rock.
Yeah. I thought it was like the wording of it was where it's like, oh yeah, we're a rock band. It's like, no, you guys are more like indie alt rock.
Yeah, low key. They are more like an alternative band.
Yeah, it's like you guys are like really.
I ain't gonna lie.
It's more, it's more like alt rock
type
borderline,
shit.
closer to pop.
They're like them niggas are like Imagine Dragons type shit.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with it.
Like a Paramore, Imagine Dragons, like an alternative like rock band for sure. Because I fuck with that type of music, like.
Yeah, but especially like when you see like the outfits and stuff that they wear, it's like you
But
really expect to do like some heavy metal stuff. It's like it's not really that serious. Especially look at especially like Nana's outfits and
I'm thinking about Trapness.
No.
Other than Rin, everybody.
No, I was talking about Blast.
I would say definitely like Sheen and them.
Yeah, that's something on Blast. Like their whole look just screams heavy metal, and it's definitely not that.
Yeah, that was kind of like a trend that was going on around this time early 2000s in Japan. But yeah, that was
Yeah,
I'm not too familiar with that genre of music, so I couldn't say. But just back to like the writing and stuff. Really like Nana. Just seeing Nana still grapple with her emotions, moving to Tokyo. Like the realization that yes, I came here to chase my dream and follow my dream, but obviously, of course, coming here means like I'm gonna see Trapness stuff. I'm gonna see Rin. Seeing Rin, I get what we would assume for the first time, like in that limelight of like, damn, he really did join that big band. They really are like doing their thing. Is like, it's so crazy. And then the end of the episode where we see Hachiko and Shoji go out for the little dinner date at Jackson Burger, and she comes home and Nana's like, we see before she, after she leaves, Nana kind of like eyeing the CD, the album that Hachiko bought, and by the time she comes back, she's like laid on the floor listening to it. Yeah, where she's kind of still like grappling with her pride so much, just like she can't give Rin up, but she like wants to so bad. She's just fighting it so hard. I love this episode, and I love that like just the way that they show that aspect of her personality is to me so powerful in this episode.
I definitely like this episode. I thought it was cool. And it's crazy because I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of the things that you're bringing up that are emphasizing about Nana, like, first watching it, I didn't really get it. I guess I wasn't really getting, like, the whole gravity of their relationship just because, you know what I mean, from my perspective, I'm looking at it like, You know what I mean? I'm really thinking like Nana is over this nigga. Like not and maybe not over him, but I'm feeling like, you feel me? I'm feeling like Nana has, you feel me, come to terms and accepted like, okay, because that nigga's gone, he's doing his thing.
Right.
You feel me? And the show makes a lot of points of saying like, well, you know what I mean? Like I think like even Hachiko has said like, well, you feel me, he been a rocker for a year, so obviously he would have somebody else. And then like even Nobu was like they not seen each other for so long. Like I doubt they had feelings for each other. So you feel me? It was, I kind of had the perception that it was kind of like whatever. So like I did see that, and I thought maybe that was just more of like Nana just like missing him. You know what I mean? But now they try to brought up the point of like her battling with her pride and shit. Now that I hear that, I can see it and be like, well, damn, that, you feel me? That scene probably had a bit more weight than I had first took it for. Yeah, because this episode, I was just kind of like, I don't know, I was just, you feel me, seeing Hachi flirting with niggas and shit. I'm like, is she for the streets? Like, this is, you know what I mean? That's all I really got from this episode was like, yeah, she's wild.
When he's talking to Sabrina's.
Yeah, like she flirting with bros. She took the job. I'm like, yeah.
She was begging for that job.
Yeah, I literally thought she was gonna cheat on Shoji with this dude. I'm like, yeah, this is the beginning to the end of that shit.
Yeah, Nana. It kind of gives Nana Osaki more light into Hachiko's personality and seeing like how boy crazy she is.
Right.
But yeah, to your point, she kind of questions her at the door before she leaves to go with Shoji. Like, oh, you don't have a boyfriend? What about Yasu? You and Yasu seem really close. Are you sure there's not going on there? All right, and if you say so. Right. But yeah, that's just. I just love that scene so much with it. Just her grappling with those emotions. Such a great way to show that. Getting into the next episode. Basically, just like Nana and both Nanas hanging out at the apartment. Mm-hmm. We got Nana Osaki who builds the table. Hachi works her first day at Sabrina's at the little furniture shop. Mm-hmm. And then we see Nobu come over. And he's basically, Yasu sends him to bring all of
our stuff.
Yeah, Nana Osaki's stuff. And they kind of like form like this idea of maybe we'll get the band back together because Nobu's so like passionate about it. Right. What do you guys think of this episode?
The first thing I realized, there's no way Nobu brought up that amp all the way up those 7 floors, bro. So there's just no way.
A lot of trips, man.
Yeah, he had a lot of boxes.
I think this was the first episode that Nana likened Hachi to a dog, and that was literally the first thing I wrote down like low key. She's very naive and out of touch. June also pops up on Hachiko at her job and kind of gets on her ass, just seeing with like how flirty she is with her boss, and you feel me, basically tells her like, all right, bro, don't hurt Shoji now, like, you feel me, like you feel me, like just watch what you're doing and be careful. And then I also wrote down, I think this also made me really love Nana because I'm like, damn, she's so humble with it, but I'm like, bro, you feel me, because like she building the table. Like, even the way Hachiko was talking about it, I thought this was like a table set you get it like, you know what I mean, Walmart or, you know what I mean, like kind of like not pre-assembled, but just like come with instructions and you just kind of put it together. Right. But when Nana was talking about it, like, yeah, man, I had some construction dudes cut the extra wood for me. I found the wood. I'm like, damn, this bitch like really carpentered the table together. Like she really had to measure wood and shit. I'm like, that's crazy. Like that's some shit even I can't do. So I thought that shit was hella cool. I'm trying to see. And then seeing Nobu and Nana playing, I really loved that scene. Like at the end of, I think it was episode 9 or 10, one of them, where it was at the end of episode 9, where when she stood up on that table, bro, and was like, damn, I only got one fan in the crowd? Fuck it, we gonna rock it in. I'm not gonna lie, that shit gave me goosebumps. Like I was like, yeah.
What's the deal? No one here? Don't tell me they only sold one ticket to this gig. That sucks. Oh well. We all gotta start somewhere. Guess one fan's better than none. Hey, good evening. We're Blast, and welcome to our first show ever here in Tokyo.
Good evening, Blast.
We'll make this a night you'll never forget.
I was like, bro, Nana is that bitch. Like Nana's like that. Like I definitely loved that scene, and it was hella inspiring type shit. Just in terms of like seeing how confident she is, and even I guess seeing her be so like, what am I trying to say? Seeing her be so like outwardly passionate about like wanting to be a singer, and like I said, like even turning something like that, like playing in the crib to a concert, you know what I mean? I was like that shit was hella inspiring. I definitely fucked with that.
Yeah, it definitely showed like the two Nanas. Like one is glass half full, another one is the glass half empty. Like the difference in perspective. But I definitely questioned at that time. I was like, damn, did they not have neighbors? Because before you didn't really see no neighbors. Like, they about to do a full blown concert, like at an 8 at night.
I said, damn, okay, you about to really play this one in the crib?
Yeah, but I did write in episode 9 specifically. I was like, it's a bit creepy how obsessed the two Nanas are of each other. And I feel like I wrote that down a lot, especially like in the first 20 episodes. You kind of see that like unnatural attachment. Yeah, you could kind of see. It's like it wasn't. I was like, damn, it feels like it's a weird attachment between those two. You know,
especially with Hachi.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's
Hachi
crazy.
is really feeding off of the other Nana versus how the other Nana is. Because she's pretty much like, I can do this on my own, but Hachi is there for me. Just like what Jordan was saying about Junko. It's like, yeah, everybody has a bad day, but Hachi in her life, she's always been the same. You can just like kind of always count on her always being the same, not being no different, and you can just kind of feed off that.
Yeah,
that's what I got from
That's
her.
crazy.
You see the episode where she was on a date with Odu. He was like, "Can we go back to my house?" She was like, "Yeah, I could, but I need to go see Nana, so I'm gonna just cab back home." Yeah.
I think, and I don't know, like I think for episode 10, I literally wrote like their friendship is beginning to show a true and genuine foundation.
That's crazy because I have "Are they bi?" question mark. This is so crazy that we had two different perspectives.
I think it's pride because I know at the beginning of one of the episodes, Hachiko literally says like, "Oh, when I first met you, Nana, it was almost like I was falling in love," and I don't know. I feel like that like really resonated with me. Like I don't know. I didn't think it was. I never thought she was obsessed. I never thought that like it was weird. I don't know. I just kind of attributed to being like they're really like this is like a good realistic show of like some motherfuckers becoming best friends. Like you feel me? Like this just you feel me? Like to me it just seemed like I don't know. I didn't look at it as unhealthy or like an obsession or weird. I was just like. These motherfuckers really click, like they're really cool as fuck, and they're so different that they kind of complement each other, and you know what I mean, in different aspects to where you know what I mean. Like Nana, I feel like is more grounded and very like down to earth, and like Hachi, but she can be a bit like pessimistic and shit. Wherein like Hachiko's the exact opposite, like she's naive, she's out of touch, but she's very optimistic. And I don't know, I just felt like they complimented each other well, and I don't know, I thought their relationship was cool. Like that shit was cool to me. That's why you saying that, I was like, damn, I never really looked at it like that.
Yeah, what do y'all think? I'm curious because I just see how different our opinions are. I know your opinion might be a little different because you've already seen it.
But going just on episode 9, just going off their relationship from Hachiko's perspective is obviously we see her POV most of the time is a perspective that is very similar to the audience's perspective at this point. Right. Like, I'm a regular person. Like, this bitch is really cool. Yada, yada, yada. She's cool. I'm going to gravitate to her. Like, she's in a band. Yada, yada. She's, like, all this stuff is very cool. With Nana Osaki, it's kind of more of almost the bi stuff where it's like, when you really pay attention, you can see that, like, she almost, like, crushes on her a little bit. Like, she's showing out for her. She thinks she's like the cutest little puppy in the world. Like, so more so with that, but I do see like they do really have a strong attachment to each other. One, even though with Hachiko's dialogue, it kind of almost hints at that kind of like bi stuff. I think that's almost more towards the other way around. Like that's more so Nana Osaki's point from it, where Hachiko is like the audience. Like I'm just gravitating to her because she's so cool. But that's kind of like early on, especially like episode 9, where I was at with it. Because that's the kind of feel that Nana Osaki was giving me with, you know, just how happy she was to like kind of do stuff for Hachiko.
Yeah, and then she even like kissed her, and it was even with like like when Masato had came, even Hachiko was kind of like, well, she
did we
the
get
girls
that
like
flashback from her first concert?
But in her first concert, after because it was a snowy night, they was all walking down. They had like all the fans out there.
Yeah.
Even the fans that was out there was just like so happy to see Nana. And then you got the one fan busted right through, and Nana recognized her straight up. It's like, you get my concerts every time. You know, thank you for this. Straight smooch on the lips. I was just like, okay.
That's crazy, bro, because I don't know, though. Like, my perception of that wasn't... I feel like my perception of that wasn't, like, I never thought that she was bi or anything, just because...
No, I didn't think she was bi. I just thought it was just like, you know, I appreciate this gift you received me, but because you were such a big fan of mine, I'm gonna bless you with this versus everybody else.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
as far as like the Hachi and her relationship goes, I don't really see it that way. I just think Hachi's just super obsessive over her.
That's crazy.
Versus Nana, versus the other Nana.
I don't know. But then again, I feel like that just kind of like I just kind of attribute that to being. I kind of attributed that to Nana's coolness, and with that being said, almost like. She, like, Nana's very, like, to me, she comes off as very, like, confident in herself and her sexuality. Whereas it being, you feel me, like, she says, like, I'm not into girls, but I could understand her not have a problem with doing stuff like that because, you know what I mean? Because she kind of, like, you know what I mean? Like, it is, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know because I know, like, I'll put it like this. I've dated a girl like Nana, and she was literally the same way. And you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that. So with that being said, I've like had a close interaction with somebody that I thought was like cool and mysterious in that way, and were confident enough in themselves where, you know what I mean? Like from somebody else's perspective, they might say or do something that you'd be like, yeah, are they like what they on? But I mean, I just kind of attribute that to being like, you know what I mean? Like she cool, like she confident in herself, like she's able to kind of blur that line or cross that line, but without overstepping that boundary. I'll put it like that.
It was a good thing you brought up that flashback. I was curious to see what you was going to say, because one thing that I got from Nana from that perspective I wrote down was manipulative. It was the fact that after she got the kiss and they got that she got that expensive
she did say like
jacket, and Ren was like, damn, you're kind of evil. And I was like, so is that something that she's doing to get these gifts from her?
Well, no, he said that because he was like the other fans are going to be mad at Masato because you kissed Masato, and then she was like, well, you know what I mean? She was like, I don't really give a fuck about that, and he was like, well, damn, you evil, like you know they gonna be shitty at her, but you don't care.
Yeah, that's the only reason she did that is because she went above and beyond to. I don't think she. I don't know.
I would say yes and no. Yes and no. Like, she probably did kiss her just because, you know what I mean, she got her a gift or whatever. But I guess my perception was, like, even if she didn't give her that gift, she probably, you know what I mean? Like, it's safe to say she probably still would have recognized her. Like, oh, hey. Now, she probably wouldn't have gave her a kiss. But just knowing how much she fucks with her and knowing that Masato has this kind of, like, weird, like, you know what I mean, number one fan kind of crush obsession, that was kind of her gift to her, like, I know you gonna, you know what I mean, I know you gonna like this, but, you know what I mean, but like I said, she knows she's not bi, she know, like, I'm not gonna start dating this bitch. It was just kind of like, here you go.
The thing that goes, like, more into the manipulation, like, oh, she knows she doesn't like girls, she knows she's a face, well, I'm gonna kiss you so you can keep coming back and have this bond with me, so you keep bringing me more gifts. You keep going your way to go to these concerts. So that's how I took it. I could be wrong. That's where I was that's a bit manipulative.
I see what you're saying, but I would say, isn't that what a good artist would do, though? Think about it honestly. If an artist had a show and after the show fans is outside and he might look at the fans like, even if it's like a rap artist or a gospel or any artist, you feel me? If they after the show they're like, I don't really fuck with these niggas, but if you gonna put on that act, like take pictures and hugs, hey, I fuck with you, I remember your name, you Theo, I love you, Theo. He might only be saying that because he want Theo to still be a fan, but at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like an artist. They live off fans, like that's, you know what I mean? That's their role. That's what they should do as a good artist.
Yeah, not being manipulative, but like because you're a fan.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I didn't look at it as manipulative, but I see what you're saying, though. I definitely see what you're saying.
Especially because of her character.
I can see where you might like come up with that. I would probably just fight back against that. Just seeing later on with how reluctant Nana Osaki is to receive gifts from Rin, where I wouldn't really say like she's like materialistic and she uses people for gifts because we see her like being so reluctant to receive stuff from Rin.
Right. Well, it was more like less the gift part. It was more of the I want you to keep coming back. And to the Rin part, I think she was more refusing the gifts for Rin because she doesn't want to feel like everything that she has on this earth is because of Rin.
Right.
No, I don't know. I wasn't saying like she's saying. I'm not saying like she's a full blown like manipulator. But I was watching. I was like, that's a bit manipulative.
I kind of feel like even in that introductory scene, Misato is like already hooked. Like you don't have to do anything extra to.
I mean, I see what you're saying though, and I would say even if
you've already got Misato hook, line, and sinker.
Even if you call it manipulative, I would say that's I don't know. I would say if there is a form of healthy manipulation, that would be a form of just like harmless, healthy manipulation. Like now, if she had been there like, hey, Masato, pay my phone bill, pay my light bill, then I'd be like, all right, this is wilding. But you know what I mean? If she didn't already went out of her way and got the, you know what I mean? If mother already got the gift, and at that point she like, because I just want you to be a fan, then I could see her kind of giving her, you know what I mean? I could see her kind of manipulating her or giving her just enough attention or affection or anything just to kind of garner that fan base, because at the end of the day, like, you know what I mean, she wants to make it, so you feel me?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, type shit.
What else? I had some more stuff for 9. I felt Nana Osaki gives basically Hachi a gift as a thank you for getting the album because her pride couldn't get the album. That's why we see Hachi wake up or basically come home from work the next day. And she's like, man, I built this table. I cooked for us. You had some mail come. I like sorted your mail and did whatever needs to happen with your mail. And I kind of like took that like in her own roundabout way. She's not going to say like, thank you, but she's going to do this because really that's what she feels like. I couldn't buy the Trap Nest album because of just how I am. Right. But I definitely appreciated that you bought that because she got a lot out of, you know, listening to the album or whatever. So that kind of like clicked with me when I saw that. The Rin, in this kind of like mini arc, we get the first of many Rin fake outs when Nobu comes to the door and Nobu's wearing like Rin's leather jacket and we see like, Rin, they're going like reconnect already, and it's like, oh no, it's Nobu. So the first of many Rin fake outs. We learned that Nobu ran away from home as we already know from his character arc. Like she's the black sheep of the family. They own this like hotel enterprise, and he doesn't want to do that. He want to be a rock star instead. So obviously that would make him like the black sheep of the family. Yeah. Going into 10, then like later that night, we get Nobu who basically fills Hachi in on like this backstory about Blast and everything. We get Sheen.
Bro, she put the
Sheen comes in. You're right. And Nana gets like, Hachiko gets like head over heels, like obsessed with like, oh my God, the band's getting back together. This is like the biggest thing ever. And she's like super excited. She wants to promote it to everyone. Sheen sees the flyer in the window at Sabrina's and he comes in. But also we get the introduction of Sachiko at the same time. As tension is kind of building in the relationship, of course, as you guys hinted at in episode 9, after they go on like the dinner date, Shoji invites Hachiko back to his crib or whatever, and she's like, nah, I'm about to go back and check on my roommate. I got her this burger. I want to take her to food. I got her before it gets cold or whatever, and then that's when, obviously, we see in 9 that Junko comes to the store to talk to her about like, hey, you need to, make sure you're putting time into nurturing your relationship with Soji. Like, don't just, obviously there's one time in the big deal, but don't just keep like, just telling him off. Because he came over to our crib yesterday and we had to deal with him, and him and Kelsuke got drunk. But then going back to this, we see Sachiko is getting hired at his restaurant, and of course that spells bad news. I love the scene of Sheen practicing with Blast. We learn, obviously, he's playing bass. He's a huge Rin fan. Rin now in like his mainstream career with Trap Nest, he plays guitar. But he's such a big Ren fan that he's like, I
remember
remember Ren
bass.
back when he played bass, and I can play bass just like Ren played bass.
Right.
And then, of course, as you guys alluded to, the kiss at like towards the end of this episode, which I always felt like was such a justified move because Hachiko is the reason we get such a goated character like Sheen. And I'm like, you know what? Hachiko really earned that kiss because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have Sheen in this series. So that's just always been my feelings about that scene.
You want to join the band?
I'd love to. You're an amazing singer, and I totally dig Nobu's riffs on the guitar.
Before you say yes, I want you to promise me one thing. And if you can't promise to do it, you have to split now. Play better than Ren. All right?
Yes, ma'am. Your wish is my command.
Isn't this great? I never expected us to find someone this fast. And he's so cute. And who discovered him? Who's the one who made it happen?
Our own little talent scout.
What do you want me to do? Bake you a cake? How else can I thank you?
Hey, don't throw that on the ground. Honestly.
Thank you, Hachiko.
Well, I thought you said you weren't into girls. You can't just do that to me. And besides, I have a
What
boyfriend.
a drama queen. It was just a kiss. I mean, it's not like she's a virgin.
You never change, do you?
Sorry, Shoji. I just made out with someone else.
What do you guys think of episode 10?
The only thing that really stuck about to episode 10 is that, I don't know about you guys, but at first, Shin's voice annoyed the shit out of me. Maybe because it was also, like, he started off, like, super happy-go-lucky, like Hachiko. Maybe my mind was like, oh, my fucking God. Here we go, another fucking Hachiko. Because remember, at first, like, hey, I'm Shin, I play the bass, can I join the band? I was just like, no, please
He
don't.
does kind of come in as this character. You think he's not going to be
even
around
feel that
long.
way.
Like,
Yeah, because his character switches so, like, a total 360.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's low-key as far as you say that, because I'm like, bro, they're really watching this nigga go down a horrible path of life. And there's nobody's... like, they kind of saying something. They kind of like, hey, man, like, she tried to get him to stop smoking. They try to get on his ass. But I'm like, bro, you, like you say, like, he did start out as like, they like, okay, this a high school kid. And then just like, as the shows, when Hachiko first sees him, she calls him a teenage cutie. So she, you feel me? She recognizes like, okay, this nigga look young as hell, and he, you know what I mean, he's cute in the face. So I just assumed he was like young or in school. But as the show went on, I'm like, cause you would damn near forget like he's supposed to be only 15 or 16. Like you would really forget that. Like this
they
nigga
said that in the next episode.
Yeah, like this nigga really starts wilding out.
What age did he say he was in the
He told him he was 18, I believe. Or something like, or he told him he was grown when he
20.
first, when he first tried.
It's in like an off-screen moment in 11 where Mr. Mizukoshi and Hachiko go to dinner because he eventually tells her like, "Hey, the store's closing down." He's talking to her like, "Yeah, that kid that came into the store earlier, man, we were so excited. I got him into the band." But we did just find out, like, he only, like, 15. Like, you know, he told us he was, like, 20. He told us he was, like, 20 at first. But then, you know, Nana drilled it out of him, and he basically ended up coming out that he was only 15. Yeah. And they do kind of, even before his whole, like, character switch with, like, his hair change and everything, they do kind of hint at, like, the darker side to his character.
They
like,
definitely talk about it.
Like, you know, like, are your parents worried about you? You're not going to school, you smoking, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. But, yeah.
Straight up the link.
Like, I think Yatsu said that in one of the episodes. He literally was like, somebody need to check on Sheen. This nigga been looking rough. Or he said something to him like, you all right, bro? You been looking rough lately. And I'm like, yeah, this nigga is on drugs. Like, this something. Like,
he's like, yeah, speaking of shooting up, man, I was worried about Sheen, man, because he been looking mad rough lately.
Right, literally. That shit was crazy.
11, Hachiko low on funds, man. So relatable.
Boy.
Trying to do her budgeting, and she's like, I'm broke. Like, it's going to be a real stretch trying to make it to this next check. I'm like, man, so relatable. Sachiko, we see more bad news. She had his job. Now she at Shoji's school, too. They at the same school.
They ride the same train.
Right. Studying the same major at college. I'm like, Yo, all right. Well, this is inevitable.
Yeah. I'll say for episode 11, I definitely put, one thing I wrote down was like, there are no healthy boundaries set by him or Hachiko for other people that they may encounter in their life. Like, you feel me? Like, I felt like Hachiko was kind of towing the line with her boss. You know what I mean? To where two people had to literally tell her, like, hey, bro, don't you got a boyfriend, bro? You flirting with this nigga? And now, you feel me? I was like, Shoji's literally doing the same thing. Like, they're just not, you know what I mean? They're just kind of like, they're not setting no healthy boundaries. They're not, like, making it known or trying to make an effort to not be in a tempting situation or be in a convoluted situation where nobody really knows what's going on or what the boundaries are or what roles people play in your life. I'm like, so yeah, I literally put like, yeah, this shit's definitely not going to end well.
You can say Hachiko's a bit worse because at least he didn't really have a choice. And he's like, yeah, we work together, we ride the same train. Well, it seemed like Hachiko's kind of going out of her way to.
Oh, it's Hachiko, yeah.
Yeah, it was right. She was kind of going out of her way to flirt with people.
Nah.
I feel like
Sachiko's the devil to me.
To that point, I could say like, yeah, Hachiko would, and it's so
Sachiko.
crazy. What's so crazy is I feel like with Hachiko, I see where you could say that was worse, but me personally, it's so crazy. I feel like in today's day and age with social media and shit, I literally took that as like, you know what I mean, like a girl like being on Instagram or something. You responded to comments, you getting male validation. At that point, it's just male validation. Like the nigga's cute. You feel me? He's flirting with you. You're flirting with him. That is crazy. But I feel like with Shoji, it was more like his was more intentional with like malicious intent. Like Hachiko's was intentional. She didn't say anything. She kind of fed into it. But hers was definitely more. I would say hers was definitely more surface level. Like it's just something to do. He kind of cute. Whereas Shoji was like. Like, I think it's one of the episodes, I think another dude in their class tries to talk to Sachiko, and Sachiko, like, he like, damn, Shoji didn't tell you he got a girl? And she like, no, but I kind of assumed it. And then he like, yeah, mess with me, he got a girl. And she says, yeah, Shoji already told me you got a girl back home. I'm like, nigga, so you're cutting out other competition, nigga, but you're not going to draw that line with you in that boundary? Like, yeah, I got a girl, but you going to fuck it up for this? You going to dirty Mac on him and be like, yeah, don't fuck with that, nigga. Bro, I don't know if he dirty, man.
But she don't care about boyfriends, so then
look,
that's not no problem for you, little Sachiko.
That is true.
She don't care about if you got a
dirt. The heart wants what the heart wants. She don't care. The heart wants what the heart wants.
I guess because she definitely started out like, oh, I don't accept gifts from guys with girlfriends. I don't accept money from guys with girlfriends. To later, she's accepting a lot from guys with girlfriends.
But then again, she tried to call it off.
Like, wasn't that the same night?
That's what I'm saying. Like Shoji was egging it on because like it was a point where I was like, I think Shoji had grabbed her or something. I said, "Damn, this nigga cheating." I'm like, so this nigga is cheating. Damn.
To Shoji's credit, he does. And like at the middle point, try to like avoid her. He does make an attempt to try to avoid her, but they just keep running into each other.
Yeah, because they
just had so many plays at the same time.
She was going out of her way to make sure. She's like, oh man, I was just here to bring you back your notes. I went to your class, went to your apartment, and found you in this hallway.
Because she really like him. That's what I'm saying. And then she even told him like, because I like you. But we can be friends. I don't want you to avoid me. I can be cool off you.
Demon time.
Demon time.
He got on demon time.
She got on demon time.
She knew what she was doing.
Because when they in the scene where they're like running to make the train, she's like, "Oh my shoe!"
Yeah,
he's like,
"Okay,
I'll walk you home."
Okay, she did say, "Yeah, I did that on
purpose." Yeah, bro. Yeah, she knew exactly.
She did say.
I think that it was 50-50 with evil, but she was definitely what she was doing. She was like, "Man, just don't avoid me." It's like, "Oh yeah." She want the cheeks clapped, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude.
That's right there.
Heart wants what the heart wants, man.
I'm
going to always put that on Shoji, bro, because he's a grown man, bro.
Right, so
if he really felt
so
that
I can
way,
use that same defense for Hachi. The heart wants what the heart wants.
No. The heart wants what the heart wants. What I'm telling you right now, this is what I'm saying, because in that situation, I'm putting more blame on Shoji, bro, because at the end of the day, bro, at the end of the day, bro, you gotta put that boundary. Like, come on now, bro.
Yeah.
You knowing the girl on you, you know the girl like you, and even if you feel me, now if you want to beat Takeshi, just let it be known. I got a girl. I'm not leaving my girl. If we keep it cool, we can XYZ. That's what I thought he was gonna do. I was like,
That's
okay,
what he did.
I was like, okay, how long he finna do this? He didn't do it good though. He was not. I really wrote down in the notes. He's not P, bro. He's not P.
Okay, how much blame does Hachiko get then?
Sachiko?
Hachiko.
She gets a lot.
For what? Their relationship breaking up?
Yes.
Him cheating on her. How much blame?
How much blame does she get?
She don't get no.
I would say, I mean, obviously
That's
she
bullshit.
gets part of the blame. Like, yeah, they're in the same relationship. Like,
same thing about her
like
with
you
Takashi.
feel me? And I literally put in my notes
You're not
like,
getting me canceled.
No, because she was outwardly going out of her way, like not purposely, but she was like not giving him attention.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, I literally put in my notes like she is kind of neglecting him. You feel me? It is a rift between them growing, like, for sure. But
I just want to make sure we're all on the same.
I'm definitely on that nigga ass though. I'm definitely.
I'm not saying she deserves to be cheated on, but she definitely has. But she definitely has.
She's also got her hands in the cookie jar too, doing some bullshit.
Yeah, but she didn't cheat.
No, but that's what I'm saying. And she didn't cheat though, and that never came up. She didn't cheat, and that never came up. So you can't bring that. You can't bring that up, bro, because. That's, you feel me? That didn't go to court. We didn't hear about that.
But she definitely wasn't a good girl.
We didn't hear about that.
She definitely was.
Nah, definitely not. Nah, she definitely wasn't shit for real.
Yeah, she had a lot of other stuff going on, so she didn't always have time.
She was just so enamored with work and then Nana and so much other stuff.
At the end of this episode 11, we get another great Rin fake out where they're coming back from shopping or whatever, and they see somebody at the door at the end of the hall.
Right.
And obviously it ends up being Yasu because they were trying to find a replacement drummer, and they, Nana kept on striking everybody down until Yasu eventually just comes back and is like,
Yasu the goat.
12.
Don't get me started on this episode.
They had a drinking party for Yasu's return. After that, I love the scene. Nana wakes up and she's got on like the suit jacket and her hair is all done up, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm about to go work at the what is it, like the little, not the postal place, but the
publisher.
Publisher, yeah, she's gonna work for the publisher, and it just kind of like reminds me back to like another thing I really like about this series: the constant change of outfits, the constant change of hairstyle. Which I wanted to note that
I do love Nana's hairstyle.
Ayazawa, the mangaka, she went to college for a little bit for fashion design, so that explains why we see so many characters like Junko and Nana and the other Nana. They get so many different outfits.
Yeah.
Hachiko specifically gets like a 1,000,001 different hairstyles in this show, and I just like that added like detail to the show, bring in more realism. They get so many different outfits. They change their hairstyle up. I like that. What is this? 12. Yeah. Junko gets on Shoji about Sachiko because Kyosuke catches him, and he's like, I think something ain't right, man.
Yeah, that was funny. He's like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. If I was single, man, he's like, I would dip my hands. I dip my foot in the pool, man. She cute, man. Got the same major.
He said, man, she not my type, but hey, even I would mess with her. So I know he's struggling right now.
He's like, man, I'm not saying I would cheat on you, but if the roles were reversed.
Nah, that's crazy. Yeah, I definitely like Junko in this episode because she does kind of get on Shoji about that, but she also kind of gets on Hachiko to Shoji. You feel me? And saying like, well, you know what I mean? She has been kind of neglecting you. Like, I gotta kind of talk that out. And then he said something like, "Whose side are you on?" And she like, "Bro, I'm on the side of justice. I'm on the side of what's right." Type.
At one point, even in this episode, she covers for Shoji.
She does, yeah, she does, and she does cover for Shoji. I feel like in this episode where Shoji tried to Shoji tried to break it to his side bitch, and this nigga's not standing on business. Like, he tried to tell her this isn't gonna work because we're crossing boundaries. I'm starting to develop feelings. I don't want this to happen. She starts crying, and then this nigga's like, "Fuck it, I guess I'll cheat on my girl," and hugs her. I'm like, bro, this nigga's wilding, bro. Like, he definitely was annoying me this episode, just in terms of him, like, I don't know, because I feel like, and it's so crazy, it's just the reluctancy and the hesitancy. Like, I feel like if you're gonna do wrong, bro, do that shit well. Don't be, you know what I mean? Like, at this point, not to say that, you know what I mean? Not to say that's the right thing to do or whatever the case may be, but it's a personal annoyance of mine to see you kind of toe the line. You feel me? Yeah, where you can't make up your mind. Where you feel me? On one moment, I want to die. I want to die with her. I want to get married. And then you got this other girl and you kind of like, oh, I don't know. And then you like, okay, I do love my girl. Let me break it off. And then you get in front of her and you're like, oh, maybe we can't. I'm like, nigga, bro.
I mean, to play devil's advocate, two things can be true at the same time.
Of course, yes, of course.
I do feel like he wanted to marry her.
Of course.
But he was like, man, but she's kind of too self-centered to realize my own needs. Man. I'm not saying what he's doing.
I definitely see what you're saying. And to that, I would say if he had cheated better, I wouldn't have.
Cheated better is crazy.
If he would have cheated better, if he would have been on some Tekashi stuff, he would have been like, Sachiko, I can't really get lovey-dovey with you right now. I like the time we spend, but I do got my girl. If he wasn't neglecting Nana or Hachiko and he was trying to make it work and whatever, and he was just like, all right, I got a little Sachiko on the side. You feel me? Now, I wouldn't be like, oh, he's a great person, but I would be like, nigga, at least you keeping it P. Like, at least you trying to, at least you know what you're doing is wrong, and you know what I mean? You've accepted it enough that you're trying to do it the best way you can. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to rob a bank, cuz at least put a mask on. Don't go in that motherfucker with no mask and half-loaded gun. And you're like, oh, I don't know. I think I want you to put the money in the bag, Theo. I don't know. Like, come on, bro. That's annoying. To me, I was just getting annoyed. Like, bro, nigga. I was like, catch him already. Like, get him caught already. I'm tired of looking at this, bro.
Besides Junko and Kyosuke, he was cheating pretty successfully.
Not really, because he was, and I guess that would come up late in a couple of, literally the next episode, but he, like, starts neglecting Nana, he's not answering the phone, he's keeping it short, she's literally like, cuz he's getting distant, like, what's going on, is he acting weird, and niggas is like, oh, we got cover for him, I'm like, cuz, whereas a nigga like Takeshi, his wife probably wasn't thinking he acting weird, that nigga is living his life, doing what he's supposed to be doing, but he know he doing wrong, and he's doing it well.
No, he was.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, it was just a personal thing. It was just a personal gripe of mine. I'm like, bro, I don't want to see you struggle being a bad person.
Was like, man, you don't call me, I only call you, man.
Right. Don't call me. Don't send nothing to the house, man. Don't look for me.
Give her.
Yeah, that was just. Yeah, I think that was just fried. I don't know.
That's just.
That
cheating
is just crazy, bro.
Bam, just like, yo.
Hey, it might be fried, but hey, if it don't make sense, let me know, bro.
We got going into 13. Shoji and Kyosuke talk. I love this scene. He like starts. He's like, "Have you ever cheated on somebody before?" And I'm like, "Oh boy, can you make it more obvious?" And then Kyosuke gives him some advice, some words of wisdom, basically talking about, I never cheated on Junko, or I never wanted to cheat on Junko because I was afraid of losing her. And Shoji kind of having to sit with that, and basically just hammer down that what he did was wrong. Like, he tried to go to his mans. He thought his mans was going to side with him. He's going to fuck with him. And you're like, nah, bro. You really
you really wild. Yeah, you wrong, bro.
It was the night after they slept together, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And he wakes up feeling mad guilty or whatever.
That's why Kyosuke is a real one.
Yeah, and I would say, like, Kyosuke and Junko literally were covering for him. Like, the discussion they had together, they was like, all right, we're covered for him, but they were covered for him with the hope that this would just be like a quick little fling and he would stop type shit. And that was something that they said, and I was like, nigga, that's probably not going to be it. But, you feel me, I see with them being his friend, you know what I mean? I guess they were, hoping it would all end well.
She was there to take over, man. She liked what she saw. She was like, yeah, I don't want no side. I don't want to be no side.
Good thing Hachiko never found out, because that probably would have been the end of their friendship.
Well, that's what I was kind of curious that was going to end up happening.
True.
It kind of didn't.
Like, damn, you knew and you ain't say nothing?
Oh, yeah.
But no, that never ends up happening. We see they have another, like, little date at Jackson Burger, and this is when, like, Shoji was, like, pissing me off. Like, Nana's, like, complaining about her, life at the publishing job. Like, normal shit. Like, bro, this job pissing me off. You know, I got to deal with X, Y, and Z. And he's kind of, like he was talking about just short answer, not really trying to hear it.
That's what I'm saying.
And then she, like, kind of, like, not even really snaps on him, but says something to him about, like, you know what? Like, I'm going through it, bro. I'm struggling with bills and shit, bro. You got it so easy. saved up money to get your new computer. When you need money, your parents be sending you money and shit. And then, like you said, he just get all quiet.
Yeah, you kind of shut
and
down.
even though what Nana said wasn't wrong, it really wasn't even all that like bad or really bad at all compared to like what he's doing.
Yeah.
She just like feels guilty about him going silent, and it's just like, okay, you can kind of see the writing on the wall at this point to like, okay, it's over because he just at the point now where he's so fixated on Sachiko that it's like, you know, he can't even pretend to give a fuck about.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Not talking about normal shit, like normal like relationship couple complaining about their everyday life, and it's like he can't even pretend to give a fuck.
To give a fuck, literally.
We see Blast, as y'all was talking about earlier, play their first show when Junko and Kyosuke go and attend the first show, and they're like, oh, you know, they're kind of thrown off at how good the music is compared to what they expected the music to be like.
Question. So when we found out he was cheating, right? I was under the impression that he was gonna get caught cheating at the concert. Like he had no idea that Nana was like this rock star. He's gonna pop up in the concert, holding her hands to look up and see Hachiko just sitting there looking at him.
I can see.
That's what I had. I don't know. I was way off the mark. I was like, it's gonna end up they all gonna be.
Well, I mean he had already agreed to take her out like that same day.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I thought. I thought she would be like, oh man, there's this new upcoming rock band. I'm gonna go see them, and they had no idea.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been egregious because
that would have been
part
crazy.
of like the short answers and stuff has been like Hachiko, as things are progressing with the band, she's getting more and more excited. She's trying to call Shoji and tell him about things progressing with the band, and him not trying to hear it.
Yeah.
So for him to have already been warned, like, hey, are you trying to go to the concert? They're having a concert here, yada yada date. And it could have happened to where it's like he's so like not focused on it. He just was like he was listening, but he wasn't. He was hearing, but he wasn't listening. And then he ends up, you know, as a turn of fate, ending up at the very same concert and just show how like crazy. Egregious he was.
That's how I thought.
That would have been fried, but
that would have been crazy.
I think they show a great contrast in this episode of how much happier they are apart. Obviously, the little lunch date didn't go well. They both left it feeling bad, feeling miserable. We get the scene of Hachiko going like up the flights of stairs, and she gets into the apartment, and like the bright shining light of like Nana and Blast in the apartment, like instantly changes her mood because they're so happy about the show that they got booked. And then we turn over to see like, you know, Shoji is so much happier just chilling in the apartment talking to Sachiko before he has to like go out on the balcony and take the phone call.
Yeah.
It really shows you how much dirt she's on. She's like, ain't that your girlfriend, man? Just go take that call outside. She's like, man.
Bro, so
she knew exactly
I swear she did. Bro. She said, yeah, I'll leave. It's okay.
I
said, don't you know you decided?
Just right. And all culminating at the end of this episode.
Just sit there quietly.
Where Hachi and Nana, and Sheen go to eat at the restaurant that Shoji works at.
Right.
And now you know, like, oh man, it's
that's literally what I put. He's not P at all. He got his bitches mingling and interacting with each other.
Right.
This nigga's wilding.
It's the ultimate manipulator right there, bro.
Yeah, I thought those two episodes were like 13 and 14. As far as like them eating in the restaurant, I think it showed a lot. Hachiko interacting with Sachiko and not knowing who she was, and like so her getting an insight of like, damn, like she really is just a nice person. You know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy because I felt like I definitely understood Sachiko feeling hella guilty at that point because up until that point she hadn't met her, she hadn't seen her, so you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, oh, I'm doing something bad to this imaginary person, but to put a face to the name, you know what I mean, and a face to like, dang, this is who I got you betraying. I definitely could understand why she was so upset and whatnot.
We got miracles. Wasn't she like making like a fake person up in her head that had
the same name? Yeah. I literally in like episode 10, I literally put I literally put she done manifested her own competition for her relationship.
Yeah.
She kept talking about this made up Sachiko, and then this nigga just happens to run into a woman named Sachiko.
I was cracking up by from and she's like, oh, what's your name? Oh, my name is Sachiko. You can see on his face. He's like, oh shit.
Right. Literally, he said, "Oh, fuck." Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it's like I think
Sachiko Kawamata. Yeah.
Okay, I do have an off-topic question. I don't want to forget. I think this episode they talk about like Nana working. What did y'all think her fucking job was, bro?
Her day job, yeah.
But they never said what it was.
I think she had. Oh, it was later on.
Yeah, it's in the second half you figure out what
yeah.
it is. And in the first half, I was like, bro, I was like, what does she do? It's like, she always works odd hours. But I'm going to work. Like, where do you work? It's like, I don't fuck worry about it. I'll be back. It's just like, what are you being so secretive about, bro?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't even think about that? Or?
Nah, I know what you're saying, and I feel like in one of the episodes, I think Hachiko did like say something like, "Damn, she be going to work like at weird hours. Like, where the fuck do she work?" Me personally, I don't know. But I remember Nana saying something like Hachiko asked her like, "Damn, so what you gonna do for a job?" And she was like, "Bro, it doesn't." And she was like, or she had said something along the lines of like, it's not hard to find a job if you don't really give a fuck what you do. Yeah. So I just figured she was like, she would do something that women traditionally, you feel me, might not have been doing in Tokyo. Like I thought she was working like, I don't know, like a labor job or like, you know what I mean, construction or just something like, you feel me, something out of the way that you wouldn't think, that you wouldn't expect like a young, pretty girl to be doing. But she like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Like I got a dream. I don't care what I do for my day job because you know what I mean. I don't really give a fuck. But I never really thought about what I don't have like any guesses. I don't know.
I kind of think it was labor. I think it was like one specific episode, which was like, all right, I'm leaving for work, and she didn't like how she was dressed. It didn't look like she was dressed to like work a labor.
Nah, it was just like some regular shit. I ain't gonna lie, it was just like a leather jacket on, and then that's what Hachiko was like, nigga, it's 3:00 in the morning. Where the fuck are you going? Yeah. And she even said, like, hope she's not a lady of the night. Or something like that. I was like, damn, what the fuck? I was like, nah, I don't think she's doing that. But you never know, I guess. It's anime. You never know, man.
14.
Shinji, a hobosexual, man. Yeah, I literally wrote, Shinji is a 60-year-old hobosexual, bro. This dude's crazy. He literally he literally sleeps with women for a place to stay and money. This nigga's wild.
I get that. I just got to like episode 12, but that's why I didn't be able to finish it. But that's Friday, though.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say he literally told, because they had asked him, like they standing outside the restaurant. I guess they was planning on waiting. Shinji about to leave. They like, yeah, so where you going? Because they had made a note like, damn, nigga, ain't that Nobu clothes? Like you staying with Nobu? He like, man, sometimes, but I really be sleeping with various women. And they like, cuz what the hell do you mean? And then a girl called him. I literally, you feel me? A girl calls him, is like, cuz I don't got money for the cab fare. And she like, you gonna pay it? Bet, I'm on the way. That's when I was like, this nigga's wildin', bro.
Yeah, we find out he's a prostitute a couple episodes before.
Yeah.
After they, they're drunk and stuff. After the party they throw for Yasu coming back, he's in the bed with her. And Hachiko's like, what the fuck? Did we do it? And she's like, no, you didn't pay me.
Yeah.
She's like, what the fuck?
And she was like, damn, should I say something? That's kind of fucked up.
I'm worried about this kid.
Because don't they also hint at it when you guys lip piercing? And he was like, somebody asked him,
is it hard to kiss? And that was the same episode they was in the restaurant. He was like, nah. I was like, I ain't had no problems yet. Yeah. Right. They was like, how many people you been kissing? He like, cuz.
Yeah, boy, Sheen.
I done been with the hoes, cuz I'm out.
Speaking of Sheen, getting into 14, I think this is where Mama Hachiko is born, because she obviously gives Sheen the advice.
Yeah.
When the taxi's coming and Nana's like, if you do something that's gonna get the band in trouble, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Right.
And Hachiko's like, oh, he's so young. You gotta be
more
way. Gentle with him.
Yeah.
It's like,
but isn't like the advice that she tried to give him like really bad advice though? Or was it like really weirdly worded?
She was like,
it was very vague.
If you take women lightly, you'll get hurt.
You'll get hurt, especially what she told
Which does come back later to be relevant in Sheen's character arc. So that ended up being really good advice. But that's where I thought, because we see later on, spoiler, but Sheen and Hachiko kind of develop almost like a mother-son type of bond.
I can see that.
And rewatching it here, I was like, this is kind of like the origins.
The beginnings of that.
Yeah.
I might say for 14, I definitely put this nigga Shoji's having an Eater Royal Rumble. I guess they, you feel me? He basically told her like, go, don't stay. You know what I mean? We'll talk when we get home. She decides to stay with Nana. Her and Nana decide to stay outside the restaurant. They kind of have a talk, and Nana basically tells her like, you're being very deceitful and manipulative with your actions. Like you're trying to wait out here so he'll feel, you feel me, good about you, or so he'll feel like you care, so he won't break up with you or whatever you think y'all about to talk about. She like, bro, if you want to stay here, you should just stay here just to stay here. And so that's what they end up doing. And then obviously they come out. They see them kind of. They see him and Sachiko kind of having a moment, and then Nana, Nana almost like smacks the shit out. I put Nana was on go. She been a real nigga. And then I put Hachiko as a gangster of the heart, because I feel like with her being so boy crazy and her being so naive, I definitely would have expected her to kind of give Shoji some type of leeway or be very like childish and naive in the thought of like, well, you know what I mean? Like maybe we can make it work, or you know what I mean? Like cheating is the end of it. But she like very clearly says like, bro, I'm not fighting for this nigga. Like this nigga cheated on me, bro. We don't got nothing else to talk about. Yeah, and I thought that was very mature, and like I thought that was like definitely the first time I had seen Hachiko like really stand on a boundary and you feel me, and like be healthy in the way that she's like, cuz I don't give a fuck. Like that shit hurt me. I'm not tolerating that.
This was the first episode where I questioned like Nana's relationship, because when she was like, oh, you need to fight for your man, she's about to take your man. Like, that's a very odd thing to say when obviously he is done with the relationship practically. It's like the fact she was like, oh, you need to say something to get your man back. Okay, I was just like, does she really need him back? I don't think so. That's just a little weird. But
also, I think she has said that more for Hachiko's benefit, because she know Hachiko mess with Soji. Like, you feel me? They went to see Soji. She wasn't saying nothing. So, you feel me? Like, I guess my perception was just like her literally like, the first sentence was like, bitch, you ain't gonna say nothing? Like, you ain't gonna say nothing? You ain't gonna say, I hate you, I'm mad at you, I'm done? Like, you're not gonna say nothing. You're not going to try to fight for this nigga. You're not going to tell him, you feel me? Like, you're not going to say nothing. And that's when she was like, nigga, it's not nothing to be said.
Like, she was like, man, if you want your man back, go fight for him. And that's kind of like, I was like, maybe she's dealing with some toxic relationships in the past. Maybe Ren was cheating on her in the past. She's just kind of chopped it up like, hey, it happens.
I can see why you say that, yeah. Because I thought it was weird, too. I was like, fight for this nigga. That's why I literally put, nigga, Hachiko's a gangster. And then I put, why the fuck would I fight for somebody that's cheating on me?
Yeah,
like, that was literally her answer to that. Like, I'm not fighting for this nigga. He cheated on me.
He stood on business too, because they catch him and they question him. Like, Nana catches him like, yo, what the fuck going on here? And he's like, this is my girl.
Yeah, this is like, who is this? Yeah, Nana asked him like, who is this? And he like, this is my girlfriend.
She like, man.
I'm like, yo.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. I was like, that was crazy. He said, man, ain't gonna lie, bro.
He definitely stood on business, bro. In the face of adversity, he stood on business.
That shit pissed me off when she was working and she broke the plate hearing Hachiko talk.
Yeah.
Like, she was on nerves. Like, man, what the fuck? I was like, what you so nervous about? I hate Sachi. Yes, bro.
She dropped the cup and shit. Yeah.
And she broke it when she
cuts her
heard
finger.
Yeah, well, because she heard Hachiko talk. She's like, oh no, this is what she is.
What you scared for?
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
Yeah, she said something about Shoji, and she kind of like, it's the realization of, that's his girlfriend.
Oh, that's his girlfriend.
Yeah. So she's like,
because they was like, they was like, where's Shoji?
But now I hear, I'm fucking.
But my thing is like,
and like I said, like her kind of, you feel me? Her like you kind of taking somebody man and you ain't never seen him, as opposed to you meeting the girl of the guy that you feel me? That I could understand why she was so like, damn, why she felt so guilty.
You already slept with him multiple times, telling him to take calls with your girl outside in the room by yourself. It's just like, at that point, you already so far in.
She pussy.
Who cares?
She's pussy when it comes down.
She stood on business.
No, I'm saying
she stood on business.
No, he talking about
Sachiko.
No, she didn't.
She stood on business. Nana was finna rock and shit. She said, man, if you gonna hit somebody, hit me. I'm the one that took that nigga. This is my nigga.
She wasn't trying to fight. She was just like,
she would have took that motherfucking punch. That's what I'm saying. Nah, she don't get no credit for that. That's crazy.
My man was running a crazy game. Though he had both of them right.
God.
I mean, to Nana's quote, the wording is very purposeful. I can see why at the time it's kind of like, that's kind of weird wording, but we do learn later on, like, not more about Nana's personality and how possessive she is.
Yeah.
So she kind of sees it from her possessive point of view, like that's
she's
your boyfriend.
Yeah, she's taking
your thing, because she views people almost as things that are important to her as things almost. Like, she's taking your thing, like, go fight. Like, she's taking your phone, whatever, like, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, go fight for him. But that's kind of like why the phrasing is purposefully, you know, that way.
And I definitely understand. They both kind of.
Yeah, that's like legit. I just wrote it down to how I saw it. That was before I knew,
Right.
because it was already a little.
Yeah, you
bit
had just picked up on that. Like,
it was just like a little bit sprinkle of her them being obsessive and towards each other, but I didn't really fully connect the dots. I thought it was weird. I thought it was more saying more towards her and Ren's relationship. Like, damn, maybe.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You just thought it was more indicative of like her past with cheating.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
Like, maybe she's more like, guys, just cheating, girl. Who cares? Chalk it up. Chalk it up as loss.
I thought that too. Yeah, when I seen it, I was like, damn, nah. So nigga cheat on you, that's gonna be cool. You gonna
this is a very weird thing to
stay
say
on.
for Nana when she's been kind of emotionally mature throughout the series at that point.
She does kind of like hint at Ren other times and like she wouldn't give a fuck, but obviously she just be talking. Get another Ren fake out in the after, you know, the morning after in the dream sequence when she thinks it's Ren at the door. Like, what the fuck? Ren is at the door, but obviously it's just Junko. And so many fans of the series have such a problem with this scene when Junko is like talking about, it's really kind of your fault that, you know, he did this shit.
Kind of cooking. I can't.
No. I can see why the character would do this, but I have seen a lot of people online that just like, Junko was cool until this scene, like,
and it's crazy because Kyosuke talks about that. He literally touches on that, like he literally tells her, like, you probably didn't have to be brutally honest, and you trying to console her, like that was wild. But I mean, to her point, she like shit. That shit she needed to hear, and I'm friends with both of them, so it's not like.
It made me like her character more. Me personally, I'd much rather have a friend that's brutally honest with me than someone that's just going to sugarcoat it, because there had to be some level of responsibility that she had to take. Not saying it was her fault.
No, I know,
but she definitely had a hand in it.
Relationship is two people.
And no one else was going to tell her that. She was like, as your friend, I'm going to be the one saying, like, yeah, he shouldn't have did it. But however, there were things in the relationship that you didn't necessarily fulfill, so he went outward to get
right. I'm about to say, plus, when the last time? Never mind. We ain't gonna talk about that.
He was.
When
the
last
good.
time
He was
y'all
taken care of.
Right. When the last time y'all done bumped up?
Yeah, but last time we had some fully cool.
Come on now. When the last time we had some fully coolly, man?
He wasn't pressing for the fully coolly.
But I'm saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, like as far as
on E.
Yeah, it is. Hey.
Sachiko had him running on E. Like,
hey, man. You know what they say, man. You know what they say, bro. If your wife keep you empty, you go out, bro. You're not gonna be looking for nothing else because you're already on empty, bro.
I'm like, well, there was a part of me during that scene when there was going to fight. I was like, man, is he about to try to talk his way into having both of them be his girls? Like, hey, man, if you don't want to do the fully coolly with me, that'll be her job, and you can kind of just.
God, I would have. We could do like SZA. The weekend, she can get me throughout the week because you're mean as hell. She can get me throughout the week, and you get me on the weekend or something. No, he could have. I don't know. I think
Nana wasn't going for that.
But I would say like on episode 15, I think Junko's and Kyosuke's conversation with Shoji, I feel like was very important, and I feel like somewhere in there's an important lesson about being considerate and thoughtful in the act of apologizing, because they basically tell him like, yeah, you might as well just avoid Nana right now. Like, she not trying to hear it. And he basically says something like, man, I just want to apologize. And then Kyosuke has to tell him, like, bro, you don't really give a fuck because you did it. So you couldn't have cared enough not to do it. So you apologizing now would just be, like, selfish. Like, you feel me? Like, you're trying to do that because you think it's going to help you feel better and not as guilty. And that's something for me personally that resonated just because I feel like it's so proud of to say this. I heard Kevin Samuel say it one time to a lady he was talking to, and she was basically like, she had cheated on her man, and then they got back together, but she had kept cheating, and he was like, He was like, bitch, why did you? He was like, if you wasn't gonna do it again, why did you tell him that you cheated? And she was like, well, I just needed to get it off my chest. And he was like, bitch, you should have kept that to yourself. Like, if you make a mistake, it's the one time you did it, you never gonna do it again. And why the fuck would you bring it up? Like, take that shit to your grave. You live with that. You bringing that up and telling somebody about it, that's you trying to alleviate your own guilt. Like, you feel me? Yeah, like you trying to get validation. Like, oh well, what I did wasn't that bad, or they cool with. Like, nah, bro, if you made a mistake, bro, keep that shit to yourself and keep it pushing. Like, so I thought that was cool. I thought that was important. I'm like, because I feel like more people need to hear that shit.
Yeah, for episode 15, the two big notes that I had was one, I said, is Nana's moving out, question mark, because it kind of just seemed like it was heading in that direction, at least from my point of view. Then I also said that Hachiko's obsession with Nana is getting out of hand. Like, 'cause before it was already started, but now I feel like this episode, you could really see, like, the dependency there, where she was kind of just like, oh, I need Nana. Where's Nana? Where's Nana? But
her being free from the relationship with Shoji does, like, we see it kind of free her up to dive headfirst into, like, Blast and everything Blast, which already was, like, partially taken up a chunk of her life. It was like really what was like getting in between the relationship with her and Shoji, but now she's like she can just jump straight in without anything stopping her. To the Junko and Kyosuke talking to Shoji point, that the fourth wall break in that thing is so
I
funny.
literally put they breaking the fourth wall question mark.
This is so funny. He's like, they're talking to me. He's like, I'm just a little side character. I'm on my way out of the story, whatever. Yeah. They're like, nah, you gonna be around. You just mad because everybody watching is gonna hate you. Yeah. I love that scene. That scene is hilarious to me.
I also thought that it was funny because it had happened a couple times before this, but it happens when Junko is talking to Hachiko about Nana. And she says something like, nah. Like, I guess Hachiko asked her, like, did Nana call you to check on me? And she was like, nah, Nana's not that thoughtful. She doesn't seem like she would be that considerate or that thoughtful. And I literally wrote, like, it's funny how wrong about Nana Junko is when she assumes things about her. Just off the basic, like, oh, I met her that one time and looked at her. And because this isn't the first time, like, she just said things like 2 or 3 times in other episodes leading up to this about Nana. And it would be like, she would say something like, nah, man, Nana's not that resourceful. And then the next scene would be, nigga, Nana building a table. Like, I just thought that was funny how, like, I'm like, because every time she says something about, you feel me, about Nana, she ends up being, like, completely fucking wrong.
Just, like, overprotective?
Not overprotective. I just thought it was funny how the show kind of, like, emphasized how, you know what I mean, just kind of, like, how Nana isn't, like, what you see is what you get. Like, you feel me? Like, like, Junko, like, I guess has an impression of her of, like, you know what I mean? She cool, she mysterious, you feel me? She might feel like she's closed off or whatever the case may be. Right. So she's moving from that point. Like, well, nah, she wouldn't do that. But it's like, nigga, Hachiko lives with Nana, and we as an audience know, like Hachiko knows, bitch, that's not true. I mean, so I just thought it was funny. Like, I think that was like the 3rd or 4th time she had done that, and I was like, this bitch is.
I mean, you can argue that's more of an obsession type of thing more than like, you can argue that like Nana's more obsessed with Hachiko rather than her overtly caring about Hachiko. Like, Nana's like, oh, Hachiko is my pride. Like, again, like she was referring to her as a dog. Like, Hachiko is my pet, and no one else can really have it. So it's more like a obsession thing rather than I genuinely love and care about you. It's more like, oh, I want to get what I want out of this situation.
I don't know. To that point, I would say. Even if that was true. The beginning of both of those situations, so like if Nana really had a genuine love and care for Hachiko that wasn't possessive, and if she did love and care for her only because she was possessive, in the beginning it would look the exact same. At this point in time, it would look the exact same. Like, so whether, you know what I mean? So whether Nana was going out of her way to do shit for Hachiko because she was like, man, I just want Hachiko to be happy, or whether she was doing it because she was like, nigga, I want to do something for Hachiko because I want to be with Hachi. I want to stay, you feel me? I want her to stay with me. Like, at the end of the day, she's going out her way and doing something nice. So, you know what I mean? Like, to that point, I would say, like, whether her motivations for being considerate and thoughtful were positive or negative, she's still being considerate and thoughtful. Up until this point. Now, if I see something in the show and I'm like, okay, yeah, she wilding, you know what I mean? Like, she's overdoing it, or it's got to the point where it's negative, and you know what I mean? It isn't just positive emotions behind it. Like, at the end of the day, I'm like, she's still being thoughtful and considerate. because I feel like Hachiko was the same way. Like as we'll see, like in the next couple episodes, like she literally was the same way. She can be and was being hella possessive of her, and kind of had to, you know what I mean, accept it and like sit on her laurels. All right, bro, I gotta chill out. So I don't know, I don't know. But at the same time, I don't think that's necessarily like hella bad or hella unhealthy. I feel like that's something a lot of people deal with, especially in relationships, and it takes a very mature person to be able to operate in a way or even say things in a way like, well, yeah, like if I really love that person, you know what I mean, I would want them to be happy even if it wasn't with me or even if it wasn't to my benefit, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of people that will love somebody and care for somebody, but still like, you know what I mean? Like if they not doing what you want or they not with you, then you like, oh, fuck that person, or your feelings change. But you know what I mean? I say that takes a lot of maturity to get past that point where the love isn't possessive and it's just more of like a genuine love type shit.
What do you think, Jordan?
I think the love is basically, it's no different to me than like just any normal love. I just think she's there's love, but she is just a possessive person. I wouldn't say it's like possessive love. She just is a possessive person because you like that with everybody that's close to her. Right.
Yeah.
That's my thought on it.
For sure.
What's on that?
All right. I want my girl possessive over me, man.
After this, we get the whole
start tweaking
Misato Hachi thing blow up.
Right. Yeah, that was fraud.
When she kind of just like jealous of Misato, but really she's like, it's just like she taking her frustration out on Misato when it's really about other stuff. Yeah. Still just upset with the whole thing the things with Shoji ended, and then after this it kind of like we transitioned to one of my favorite like mini arcs in the series, just revolving around Rin and Nana in the concert. We got Nana. She goes and visits Yasu. Kind of like playfully tries to see if like Yasu will sleep with her or whatever, because she knows obviously a couple episodes before that Nana has these tickets, front row seats to the Trap Nest concert.
Playfully,
and she'd already asked her about it, and she's just like, kind of like one last like attempt before you know she kind of like goes forward with the concert, and she's like, okay, Yasu not going. You know what? I guess we really about to do this. Like, I'm really about to go to the concert and see Rin again. Hachiko, of course, apologized to Misato about everything. You know, her taking out her frustrations on her. But then the important part about this scene is Misato kind of spills the beans on Rin and Nana being a thing in the past, and that's where she first learns about it. She goes over to Nobu's apartment, and Shin and Nobu fill her in more with details about Rin and Nana's past. See, after that, Nana goes back to the apartment, and Nana Osaki decides to go to the Trap Nest concert. So now that's kind of become a really big thing where Nana's preparing for that. What do you guys think of this episode?
One big thing I had noted, which always kind of was weird, why the fuck did she buy 2 tickets when she never had like a guaranteed second person to go? I understand she kind of had to for plot reasons, but it's kind of just like,
I think you could just attribute that to being like she was gonna ask somebody, like she was gonna. But I mean, at the end of the day, like not a lot of people want to go to a concert by themselves. So you know what I mean. I can see her like buying 2 with the thought of like, okay, well I'll just get Junko or I, you feel me, or I ask that nigga Shoji, or you know, like at that point she's like, I'll find somebody to go with.
Yeah, I don't know. It's me personally watching. I was like, yeah. Like she's going out there jumping through hoops, can't find no one to go. I was like, what the fuck? She bought 2 tickets.
Nah, I see what you said.
Weren't they?
No. She bought them back when she was back home. She's like, I'm such a huge Trap Nest fan. Because she was like, it's cheaper.
I thought it was a gift from her parents.
No, because she was like, it's cheaper. No, because her mom sent it to her. Because she was like, it was cheaper there than it would be to see them in Tokyo.
And she said, like, a lot of people, I guess, like, a lot of the super fans of Trap Nest was saying, like, even it's hard for them to get tickets. Like, it's hard to see them. Some shit.
Yeah, I was like, that is a little weird. So she's like, let's buy 2 tickets.
Yeah, I definitely put, like, Nana has feelings for Yatsu, ? And I think she's going to the concert to prove to herself she doesn't really fuck with Rin. It's fried because I think like in the upcoming episode she literally says something like, yeah, I went for closure. That was the main reason why I was going. What else did I put? I put Hachi is being very dramatic and low-key manipulative with her intentions and interactions. Just because I felt like, I don't know, like I felt a way about her knowing the past between Nana and Ren, and then like her motivations for wanting Nana to go switched from I just want somebody to go with to now I want to go and I'm trying to hook y'all back up and I'm trying to orchestrate. You know what I mean? So I felt that was like, I thought that was kind of lame because I felt like, you feel me? I'm like, cuz like that's none of your business and you haven't even talked to Nana about that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, and like I said, and like I felt like these next episodes were very weird for me because it was kind of like we see Nana and Yatsu's interaction with each other. So I'm already thinking like, well, damn, so Nana do kind of got feelings for Yatsu, and he thought she was playing, but damn, was she serious? So, you feel me? It's kind of like Hachi was doing that, and I'm like, because you don't even know, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know the full story. Like, you could be putting her in a weird position, or, you know what I mean? You asking her, you trying to orchestrate this to go. Like, I really thought it was not going to go that way at all. I thought it was going to, like, blow up, or, you know what I mean? Or she was going to be like, yeah, I don't really fuck with this nigga, bro. I don't got no feelings for this nigga. Just to spite the fact that she's hyping it up, like, oh, they gonna get together and they gonna jump down. It's gonna be teary-eyed, and so I thought that was kind of, you know what I mean. I was like, that's kind of manipulative, because I would feel away if, you know what I mean. I would feel away if my friends knew that I, you know what I mean, used to talk to a girl or something, and then y'all trying to orchestrate me to be in the same room with her and all this other shit. I'd be like, all right, I would feel away. All right, but y'all niggas bugging.
I wouldn't call that manipulative.
Right, I would agree, but
just, I don't know. I thought that shit was fairly manipulative.
What she did though. It would have been like if she would have been like, I got Ren number, I got connects to Ren.
No. Yeah, I'm just saying from that point, like, yeah, I'm saying from that point of her finding that out, and then her being like, well, damn, well, maybe it's gonna be. I was like, cause now you're moving, and your intentions aren't pure anymore. Like your intentions literally went from I want to go with you, I want somebody to go to your, you know what I mean. You're moving with an ulterior motive, like you're low key wild.
Go ahead, I'll let you know.
I didn't think it was manipulative, and I did still think it was pure motive. I didn't think it came from, trying to manipulate things. I thought it was just a genuine, like, she wants Nana to be happy.
No, I understand.
And so she's kind of like, how Hachiko is.
I understand,
So she kind of, like, works up her own, like, fanfic of, like,
Exactly.
Nana Osaki did decide to go on her own merit.
No, 100%.
So of course, Hachiko being the super optimist that she is like, oh my God, when she gets there, Ren's going to see her, and then he's going to sweep her up off her feet, and it's going to be happily ever after. That's just like, Nana's super optimistic over imagination working, but she never like, Aizen level masterfully tries to, manipulate a situation. It's just kind of like, hey, I'm a super optimistic person. We're going to go. If this happens, I hope this happens, but she's not really doing anything to like secure that will happen.
True. No, you're right.
Yasu does that. She doesn't do that.
Yeah.
She hopes for that. Yasu actually does that.
No, for sure. No, I understand that. I don't know. That's just like me personally, like my perception of that. I don't know. I thought that shit was kind of weird.
Yeah, I get both
because you feel me. I was like, she don't really know. Like, you feel me? Like you're hearing this from secondhand. Like, oh, they used to date and this and that. But I'm like, and then especially once I seen her and Yatsu, I'm like, damn. Well, so is she moving on? Like, so is she? You know what I mean? Is Hachi now trying to be the dead horse? Or you know what I mean? Are you trying to breathe life into? Or are you trying to orchestrate a way to where you can try to breathe life into something that's really dead type shit? See, and then that's low key what it was. Because Nana literally said out of her own mouth, like, nigga, I went for closure. I didn't even think I fuck with this nigga. I went for closure. I went so I would look at this nigga and be like, okay, yup, I don't feel the same way.
Yeah, but her words.
And it just so happened to not work.
Her words and actions were obviously so different. I feel like I feel like me personally, I looked at it as like, even Hachiko could see her words were bullshit and that she was obviously still in love with him and that she kind of needed to go. I definitely don't think her intentions were pure, but I think she mainly did it because she wanted a distraction of what just happened.
No, for sure, yeah, for sure, yeah.
But I definitely think she saw, because it was kind of, anyone that was watching, you can kind of see that.
Yeah.
She's still in love with them. She was like, oh, maybe if I did this, she can kind of get over his feelings or they can rekindle. Because, like, I don't know how he feels, but it's beyond obvious that she's still madly in love with him.
I don't know about
I just
that.
want
I don't know
her
about
fault.
the
'Cause it looked
beyond
like a
obvious,
situation where she's
but-
like asking her if they
I see what
trying to
you're
go to the
saying.
concert.
Yeah,
Trying to go to the
yeah.
concert.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Trying to go to
saying.
the
Yeah,
concert?
she had
Trying to go
been
to the
asking her
concert?
before even knowing that. She had been hella
Yeah,
asking
so
her.
it wasn't
hella
like it was. I think it was pure like she just wanted her to be happy, but
Right.
she obviously she had no way of knowing like anything would happen.
Of course,
Well,
no, for sure.
I mean, we have the luxury of her saying yes after she found that information. If she would have had that information and had like a week to sit on it, and
Yeah, I see what you're. Okay, I see what you're
then I
saying.
feel like then we could have a bit more basis, and maybe she
I see what you're
then
saying.
maybe should have been annoying. But hey, let's go. Ren's gonna be there, or some shit like
I see
that.
what you're saying.
We didn't.
Well, I mean, but
we-
she was
we-
scared to even like ask her about her
Ren.
past with Ren.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So we didn't really have enough time to see how she would have acted with that information and with that extra ticket. Like, as soon as she found out, from what I remember,
Yeah. I'm gonna say before she even had the
said,
ticket, she was like, "I
Yeah.
got tickets to the concert. Do you want to go?" Type shit. Before she had it,
She said no at first.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but as soon-
exactly, yeah, so-
but
At the
as
end
soon
of
as
16, she
as soon as she
came
found out about Ren, that's when Nana was kind of just like, yeah, I'll go.
I'll
Yeah.
go.
She-
And then it was kind of alluded that like, okay, well, Nana might really have
Yeah,
feelings for
I
this nigga
definitely feel
still,
like-
and that's why.
Yeah, it might have been more manipulative if we could have seen time.
I see what you-
pass.
no, that definitely
like,
makes sense. That
If,
definitely makes
if
sense.
Nana didn't say anything, then we had a week of Hachiko annoying
Still
her
trying
have-
to.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I can understand.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, I also put Hachi's definitely fat phobic. I don't know if y'all missed that or not.
Yeah.
She was definitely fat phobic as fuck. Man, they get off the airplane. They at the airport or whatever. Her sister picking her up. She like, yeah, man, my younger sister's this and my older sister, and then she looks down like she's sad. Like, yeah, my older sister just keep getting fat. I'm like, yo, what the hell? But yeah, I swear to God, that's what she said. But other than that, I put Nana is very respectful and perceptive. Just like it was definitely times where like her mother in the house had said something and her sister in the car had said something, and Nana could see that it kind of like either shocked Hachiko or made her feel away, and she kind of just like filled in with an answer that would kind of get her off the hook and wouldn't make her have to like either talk about Shoji or talk about something that was obviously bothering her. And then I put she is also protective and thoughtful of those that she fucks with, because I was like, that's something that's very like thoughtful in that sense of like, like being perceptive and like speaking up for them. Like, all right, I know you don't want to talk about it, so let me give a great excuse that will get you off the hook type shit. And then I just put like, I felt like Nana was very fascinated with Hachiko's family, seeing that she didn't have one type shit. Like, especially like with her mother, she said like, okay, that's one of the things I want to see is like your family. I'm excited to see them. And then she talked about like how much she fucked with her mom and stuff. So I thought that was cool that like the show kind of emphasizes on that, like, hey, like, like Nana didn't have this, like this is new for her type shit. So I thought that was cool.
Maybe she's not fat phobic, because I'm pretty sure like it's a thing there where it's like being like here you would say somebody's fat, like they would say somebody's fat, but they're really here with she's just a little chubby. Like, I'm pretty sure like I'm not. I'm not
arguing that. You feel me? It's not like that way in their culture. I'm just saying like, nigga, you low key being fat folk. That's low key wild as fuck. So you feel me? Be like, yeah, man, and my friend Jordan, man, damn, he just fat as hell. Like that'd be fried. Like you get disappointed, and when you say it, like, damn, yeah, they fat as fuck. They keep getting big. I just thought that was funny.
She wanted her sister to be her.
I was like, I was like, nigga, that is crazy, bro.
What'd you feel about her sister being a girl, bro? When I seen that shit, I was like,
you ain't see what I said in the chat?
No, bro.
I said, the show about.
Is there something we should talk about?
No.
Okay, so I will say, like, I had never.
You didn't know.
I didn't know what a garu was. I had never come across that. I had never seen that. So when I seen her, you feel me? I seen her sister with the tan skin, the darker skin. I'm like, okay. And then I got to looking. I'm like, wait a minute, nigga. Her eyelids and her hands is white as it. I'm like, bro, this bitch got a blackface. I literally put in like on episode 12 when they first showed her sister over the phone. I literally put like, nigga, is that blackface? I'm like, yo, what the hell going on? But you feel me? I had to literally like Jordan sent me a link. I had to literally read some shit and look it up and be like, oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, I think the first time I said I anime, I was like, what the?
Yeah, I was like,
what the hell's going on?
I was like, yo, what in the Germany is going on here?
Master Popo.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck? I was like, what the fuck?
But to be fair, like we see them in other anime. You probably have seen them, but her tan looked really weird. Like her version looked way worse.
And you know what's crazy is
anime.
she was darker than like Junko or Kyosuke, which I thought were supposed to, which I thought were characters who were specifically like kind of designed to be like more of a minority, or you know what I mean, like a more like darker colored person. So when I seen it, it really threw me off. I'm like, what the fuck?
I guarantee you've seen someone like that.
And that's what I'm saying. It was probably done either better or different, and I just didn't know.
Because like, even when I was like, damn, she looking kind of. That's not what they normally look at. It's looking kind of rough. Yeah.
It's like a bad one.
Yeah.
She got like a bad tan.
Yeah,
literally.
I guarantee you, if you looked one, you'd be like, oh, I've seen that name.
Okay.
I do want to touch on a big twist at the end of 16. Kind of just rewind back a little bit. We get the first kind of contrast of how similar Rin and Nana are when they go to Yasu's door and they kind of like creepily like, I'm here at the doorbell.
Yeah.
And then
they say, what the fuck did they say?
He's like, I'm outside.
Here I am.
Yeah.
Niggas bringing your door.
Here I am. They are so alike. And
Hello?
Here I am.
Huh? What are you doing here so early in the morning?
Well, I didn't wake you. You're already dressed. You getting ready to go to work?
Hardly. After I came home from the office, I kept working on some stuff I had to do.
You worked through the night? Don't you know it was a long weekend? I guess working in a law firm can keep you really busy, huh? Honestly, when do you sleep?
I was about to grab a few hours before heading back to the office again.
Yeah, I'm coming in.
Hello?
Here I am.
Okay, so here you are again. It's late. What do you want?
And
they are.
We finally another Rin fake out, but it's actually Rin this time. We get the big twist that this whole time Yasu was still in communication with Rin. I like that.
Which makes sense with his personality, though.
Because he was the most like mature, and I could see him kind of not.
Well, they're best friends from. They was in the same orphanage together.
Yeah, they're like he's like the most big brother character.
That's tough. I didn't know that stuff.
We're going at 17. We touched on the family thing, going to the concert.
My boy Yasu an orphan?
Yeah.
Damn, niggas with no parents be the best people. That's crazy. That's not funny. That's so fucked up. But in this show, everybody that's like, yeah, I'm an orphan. I didn't have any parents. I'm literally like, cause these are like the most mature, like, well-rounded, thoughtful person. Like that shit is crazy.
Are you seeing Nana's case when she go see Hachi's family? I mean, she's like genuinely like caring about her, and hearing y'all talking about it, just like, well, the way how y'all brought up before in the previous episodes about her, building the table and all that stuff, and how Juko pretty much, kind of confront her in such kind of ways, just like, well, maybe it's not so as like manipulated, but it's her just treating her like family, because she's just like actually looking out for her. And after just hearing what you all are saying collectively, it's like, well, at this point, she wasn't doing it out of like negative terms or bad taste. It was just like out of genuine heart, just like how Hachiko is in certain aspects of this series so far.
Yeah, they get into the concert hall. Hachiko is finding her seat. Nana is still, you can see she's still like grappling with her decision and her pride. She got on like the shades.
Yeah,
She's
she
kind of
was hiding out in the lobby,
almost like not trying to be seen. She goes to the lobby and reminisces, kind of like thinks back. We get a flashback scene where we see the origins of the name Blast for the band, where they end up deciding on like the name of the cigarette brand that Yasu likes.
He's smoking Black and Miles, bro. They said, man, this is a cigarillo. I said, cigarillo. I said, cuz he's smoking a Black and Miles. He's smoking a cherry Black and Miles.
That scene at the end is so funny to me. It's like, our band leader, give us one last order, or give us an order.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, man, Yasu as the band leader declared that we shall now only smoke this brand.
They was
like,
nigga, you smoke that shit.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was fried.
After the concert, we get Trap Nest. they go from being like this band, this figure-esque kind of thing to actual characters. We see them backstage kind of talking, so we finally get them characterized, which I love that scene because Trap Nest has probably some of my favorite characters in the series. Of course, Nana and Ren end up getting back together. We get that whole scene with Yasu putting the pressure on Ren.
Lighting a fire under that nigga.
What did you guys think of that scene? Because that was probably like half of this episode.
I thought that shit was. I thought it was hard. I think. What did I put? Yeah, I feel like, and this really made me really fuck with Yasuo even more because I literally put like Yasuo sacrificed the chance of love for himself so his friends could have a chance to fix the love that they once had, and I feel like that was like really big, especially. Also in this episode, we see that like I believe it goes like back to Yasuo talking to like Shinji and Nobu, and they're talking about like you feel me? They're talking about like they probably done got together, and you know what I mean. When they see each other, it's probably gonna be magic again. And like on the whole time, I'm like, cause Yasuo really got feelings for Nana, and has to swallow that shit. Like he has to sit there. You feel me? They asking him like, "What you think? What you think?" And they gonna get back together, and he like. Hey man, you feel me? Keep it cool. Like, hey man, I don't know, man. Maybe.
I love that scene. Yeah, they're in the bedroom practicing, and they're like, they must still have love for each other, or whatever. Ren, he still wears the locket, the pendant that Nana gave him. That's surely a sign that he's still in love with her. And Hachi's like, "Well, Yasu, what do you think?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll buy it."
I thought that. Yeah, I thought that was.
I'm with you. I'll agree with you on that one. I love that scene from Yasu. All right, man. Getting into this episode 19. We got Nana trying to get on everybody about smoking. Nobody's smoking no more. She's trying to catch up to Reira, doing the sit-ups, trying to get everybody to stop smoking. Hachi is very daydreamy and very distracted at work after learning that Trap Nest is coming over to visit. What do you guys have for 19?
19. Yeah, I just put. I thought it was very. I thought it was very inspiring to see how determined Nana was to become a better singer, and like how I guess how much of a competitive nature she had with seeing Reira singing, and like I guess seeing her live and on stage. Nana was like able to realize the gap that they had between them, and you know what I mean, instead of like feeling down about it or just like, damn, she's so much better than me, she like, you know what I mean, just started working. It was all right, okay, I'm gonna start working out. Like then she stopped smoking and tried to get the whole band to stop smoking. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny seeing the scene with Hachi trying to do sit-ups with Nana. She couldn't do it. But yeah, it was good to see that Nana is like still level-headed despite having these big dreams. But okay, I have these big dreams, but I'm still super far away from it. Let's actually start taking serious steps so we can actually get to said dream.
Yeah, she got like doing all these things that she thinks is going to help her catch up to Reira. Right. It kind of made me down like, damn, does Reira smoke? I guess we don't see her smoke. 20, Trap Nest eventually does come visit. We get the scene of Takumi opening the door for Hachi, and she starts crying. Everybody's there but Naoki and Reira, and they talk about Yasu, his past with Reira. What do you guys think about that? Just kind of like doing more to like connect the two bands and the groups of characters.
Yeah, I would say I think it was pretty cool. Like now that I'm realizing, or I think somebody maybe has said something about that, maybe on one of the other episodes. But like just seeing how intertwined the two bands are, and like how Yatsu really is like an anchor between the two. Like almost everybody in Trap Nest has some sort of like relationship or past with Yatsu, and then seeing, well, obviously everybody in Blast is the same thing. Like they have some sort of like relationship or friendship with Yatsu that kind of predates like them moving to Tokyo type shit. So
right.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I didn't think Takumi would be as friendly as he was with Hachiko at first. Because they obviously she's kind of introduced it just like, oh, she's a big fan of yours. But then he goes like above and beyond after they talk and stuff to like compliment her on the cooking and talk about how good the tomatoes are, which is a scene that like comes back to us over and over and over again in Hachi's thoughts.
But you know what time he was on, though, man.
Right.
I don't know. He was just spitting game, laying the groundwork down, man.
Ground beef.
Hachi and Nobu, they go to the corner store to get like cigarettes and more alcohol, and it's like the first time we really see a one-on-one scene with them, and Hachiko just being herself is like, oh man, we got a lot in common. You know, I didn't really know that Nobu was like this down to earth or whatever. So I was thinking about him. She asked him like, do you have a boyfriend or do you have a girlfriend? And
he was like, yeah. Then he said something like, no. Do you know anybody that's interested? Right. And then she was kind of like, me, nigga.
Right. You see like a writing on her head, on her forehead.
Right.
That was a hilarious scene. After the old party or whatever, Hachi and Takumi end up meeting up when she sees his car on the street after she gets fired, and she's like walking home after work thinking about, you know, what new job is she gonna get.
Right.
Bumps into Richie Rich Man.
The G-Wag.
Right, how convenient.
Bro.
Episode 22, Trap Nest. Before that, they were, I think they were gone for a couple weeks or something. They're basically back in town. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're about to go on tour. So they're in town. Blast goes to see them. Nana doesn't because she got beef with Rayra type shit. Not, just like a competitive, not a beef, but yeah, she's just more like jealous and just sees her as more like a competitive rival. So, and then obviously Hachi doesn't want to go just because I guess she feels away. She's kind of trying to keep her and Takumi's little fling a secret. I'm trying to think. She basically makes a whole big meal, just assuming that they'll come over with them being in Tokyo. And I mean, Takumi basically did say like, July 8th when we come back, I'm gonna come see you. So she, she like made this big meal and everything. They decide they don't show up. And then her and Nana end up eating the food, putting it up. Blast, like the members of Blast end up going to basically like an after party for Trap Nest. And then that's kind of where Nobu and Sheen and Ren find out that Takumi and Hachi slept together. You feel me? Nobu got shitty. Sheen threw a drink in Takumi's face, and feel me? Takumi basically just spun the block on her and was like, "All right, I'm gonna double down on her now. This niggas is disrespecting me. I'm gonna go knock her boots back again." I thought that was crazy, but and it's fried because I don't know. Somebody might be like, hey, "Bro, you a bad guy for liking that," but I think that was cool. Like it really showed me that like Takumi, he's that guy. He doesn't give a fuck. Like he's a savage. He's a menace for real. Like you know what I mean.
22. We also see like how much Takumi like runs Trap Nest, how much of a hand he plays like it's produced. He wears multiple different hats for Trap Nest beyond just like being in the band. Right. See Shin and Rayra kind of had their first interactions. And then as you said, Takumi goes after the after party back to the apartment and visits Hachi, but Nana is there and Nana sees them. Mm-hmm. But she decides to not say anything.
Bro, he told her to be quiet. That was so player, bro. He was ugly.
Right.
Yeah, he's a mess.
But she see Hachiko's crying, so she's like, all right, I'm going to leave it alone.
Right.
Made her go to the IHOP down the street and just sit there by herself.
Man. She's like, I heard Nana leave the apartment. I assumed, she was just going over to Ren's place.
Right.
But of course, we know that her relationship, as far as like when she needs somebody to lean on, is more like Yasu. So of course, the twist is she goes to basically a diner and tells Yasu about the situation. Like Hachi and Takumi hooks up, and to Yasu's credit, Yasu's like, Nana is at first like, I'm a supporter because, she's my friend. I'm going to just hope for the best. We know Takumi's past and what he's known to be, but, I'm going to just be optimistic and hope, maybe this time things are different.
Right.
And Yasu, to his credit, is just like, nah, I don't want to see that for Hachi.
Yeah.
Anybody but
he's
Takumi.
Not good. Yeah, he's really not a good guy for real.
Yeah.
I would say to that point, Nana also says that she feels like Trapness is taking people away from her. And
Yes,
I felt like that was, you know, back to the point that you guys were talking about, like she's just a very possessive person. So I think this is, you know what I mean? This kind of like goes to show that like she, that's her perception of it. And like she talks about it like, you know, like first they took Rin, feel me, now they taking Nana. So,
but it kind of shows her selfishness too, because Trapness is taken more from Yatsu than Trapness is taken from Nana.
True.
Because he's like, man, he took my girlfriend, took my best friend. I was like, you know, he's like, I've been cool with everyone in Trapness, and Trapness has taken all of them from me. It looked like now I'm about to lose Hachiko to them. Right. You can go to Rent any time. So it's really just, at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one that's really left alone in this situation.
And I feel like, and I also put like, Nana feels the same way that Hachi felt when she was talking about life, or like the Demon Lord taking like Shoji and Nana away from her. Like she kind of had the same, she kind of alluded to the same effect a couple episodes before this. And I feel like that's just kind of like a point of personal growth that they're going to have to go through, you feel me? Whereas, you know what I mean? Like we had said earlier, like, you have like once you mature to a point, like you're gonna have to get to a point where you can't have that perception. So, you know what I mean? Like you can't look at life like that's very childish. Like that's something, you know what I mean? That's something I would see like in a movie, like a kid would say, like, Dad, you know what I mean? Like your job is taking you away from me, and it's like, cause that's not really true though. You know what I mean? Like it's just that's a very like childish and like rudimentary perception on like viewing people as like possessions or things that, you know what I mean, that you can like control or like have like only for you at all times. Like that's not very realistic. Like the way life is, just things happen. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody like if somebody gets an opportunity or something, like that doesn't mean that, you know what I mean, that's taken away from you or anything like that. It's just you have to grow to be able to see that.
Yeah, so it's like how obsessive she really is.
Right.
And it shows like how she's actually like a prisoner of the moment. She's not really thinking of like the bigger picture of how everything's like benefiting everyone. She's like, well, it's not benefiting me right now. It's how it's making me feel. So I don't care how it's benefiting you or anybody else.
Yeah, I like that connection that it draws between them two. Like they both have lost things to Trapness.
Yeah.
I also like the scene when Takumi is like talking to Hachi, and it kind of like draws a contrast between what everybody thinks he is and what he actually is. When he's like looking up at the poster and he's like, you know, that's really me. Like that doesn't even seem like it's me. And it kind of like brings up this whole idea of people's perception of Takumi. You know, from a fan perception. Rumor perception and who he really is, because they do a great job in this episode and even some later episodes of like towing this line and of him being in this gray area. Is like, okay, we've seen him be an asshole, but then we've also seen him not be an asshole, so it does a great job of towing this line. Like, damn, we really don't know where he stands as far as Hachiko is concerned.
And like to further that point, also, I remember when Hachiko and Nana were talking at the table and they were first, you know what I mean? And like, Nana had basically just kind of like, she found herself trying to like confess to Nana, like, hey, I've been seeing Takumi, and that's what she was like, I know. But they got to talking and Nana had said something along the lines of like, you know what I mean? Because with Hachi being so like boy crazy in the past, Nana made an assumption like, oh, well, you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, you're in love with Takumi, right? So you don't look at him as just a celebrity, and you look at him as a person. And I remember Hachiko's inner dialogue literally was like, bruh, I don't know. Like, if this nigga wasn't a celebrity, like, I would think he's an asshole. Like, I would think he's a jerk. I don't even think I would like him if he wasn't, you know what I mean, from Trapness. So, I think that's definitely a big point that was raised for her.
Yeah, she kind of like plays along with it because, again, she doesn't want, like, Nana's perception of her to like go down and think like, oh, I'm just like a stupid fan that like sleeps with rock stars. Like, oh, it's not stupid.
Or
like
somebody that just slept with him just because he was
right, just cause. And she's like, oh, it's not stupid. You're in love, like
right. The whole time she like
right, kind of like giving her like a way out.
Yeah,
giving her an out in the situation. Like you're not a hoe. You just you fell in love with him. Can't help it.
It's crazy. My note for the next episode is literally Hachi got a groupie mindset. This is so crazy.
That's so crazy. Fell in love with that G-Wagon, man.
Whoa.
Took me to a luxury suite in the G-Wagon, man. Of course you're going to fall in love.
All things done in the dark will come to light. Noble goes over to the apartment, talks to Hachi, and basically kind of like spills the beans on it. Like, hey, we all know that, you know, what happened between you and Takumi. Like, everybody basically know at this point.
Yeah.
And that's when, like, she brings it up to Nana, and Nana's like, you know, gives her the out or whatever. 24. All right, this will be the last episode we cover. Kind of a change of pace. Blast starts to garner intrigue from a record label, so we kind of get more into like more positive stuff. Hachi apologizes to Nana for the Takumi situation, just thinking that it really kind of like fucked her up. Like I don't want you to feel like, you know, if that made you uncomfortable and that was the reason you left the apartment that night, like I want to apologize because you made a point to be like, oh, you know, when me and Rin do our thing, whatever, I'm going to go over to his place. So I'm like, repeat like a situation like we had with Misato. And I'm not just bringing random people over to the apartment at any time of night. And she's like, yeah, I should be doing the same thing. But she kind of gets down because she's like, because Nana tells her like, hey, I'm going to be spending the next 2 weeks over Rin's place anyways, just to spend time with him before they go out on this next tour. And just, so you got an apartment to yourself. You're not worried about, you know, if Takumi comes over here or not. What you guys have for 24?
I mean, depending on how you look at that situation, you know, you see talk about Nana is always like giving her like presents and stuff like that for when she's being good. You can kind of look at it like maybe that was Nana's way of like punishing her. It's like, oh, this is my excuse for punishing you because you're not being the obedient dog I want you to be. I legit didn't think about that till now.
Yeah.
As far as 24, I put we find out Reira is half American. I put Nobu is acting very cowardly, just with him not really not being able to find the courage to confess to Hachi outright. You know what I mean? It's just kind of one of those like frustrating, like, bro, just come out and say it. But you know what I mean? Just, you know, everybody knows like with life, it's obvious. That's obviously something that's easier said than done, especially for, you know what I mean, depending on who you are as a person. I'm trying to put. I definitely put. I don't know. Towards the end of that episode, I don't know. Like I feel like Hachiko rubbed me the wrong way, and we kind of talked about this off camera. But I just feel like with her saying like, with her recognizing like, she basically had a similarity. Like I believe in the beginning of this episode, she had said something along the lines of like, why is getting true happiness and something that makes you happy, why are those always like two different things? And then she kind of draws a comparison to that with like Takumi and Nobu, and then, you know what I mean, she kind of like commentates like, you know what I mean, like me and Nobu got a lot going on. Well, we got a lot in common, and then you feel me, she says like me and Nobu, like I could see myself like falling in love with him, and he does seem like a better guy, just period, than Takumi. And you know what I mean, she kind of recognizes like, okay, I know Takumi's probably, you know what I mean, like just here for a short term and whatnot. But you feel me, she basically like ends the episode with saying like, she says all that, but then says like, oh, yeah, well, if Takumi came over here, I just wouldn't be able to resist. I'm like, this bitch got no discipline. Like, that's just crazy. Like, I don't know. That definitely rubbed me the wrong way, just with, you know what I mean, her growth up until now. I don't know. I would like to see her be, you know what I mean, adult enough to make a decision. You know what I mean? And in terms of saying, like, all right, bro, no, Takumi wouldn't be good for me. Let me give Nobu a chance. Like, he obviously like me. You feel me? Or just say, all right, well, fuck Nobu. You feel me? I'm going to try this out. But to recognize, like, dang, I know it's wrong that I'm doing this, and this would be better for me, but I don't know, I just can't. That annoyed the hell out of me.
I mean, at least she's honest about it.
No, for sure. Yeah, she's definitely self-aware and honest about it. But.
Yeah, these like in past episodes where she was trying to ignore and act like it wasn't a thing. But at least she's like self-aware. You can see not a ton of character growth, but it's like,
right. But it's some.
Yeah, she's gonna make this a norm.
You're right.
Yeah, for the streets, bro.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm,
it sounds like there's growth, but then it's like she's still on her shit. But like you said, she's more, she's more honest about it. And it's like,
right,
okay, but look around your surroundings. You know, the people that you're affecting, and I mean, they may not, you know what I'm saying, they may not take it as wrong, but it's just like, you know, you got Nana looking at you different because you got Takumi over. You know, everybody else knows about it. Just like, what are you doing this sneaky shit for? Even though you admit that, you know, you're kind of just taking this new light yourself.
She kind of get. You can go ahead.
No, especially like when no one cares in reality. Like you could tell, like when she came to Nana, I was like, "Oh, Nana, I've been sleeping with Takumi," and Nana was like, that's cool. You're an adult."
Right.
She's trying to play it off like
yeah.
But we know like
it is.
Yasu actually is. She kind of gets like caught up between like two situations because Nana tells her that Nobu has feelings for her. She didn't know beforehand.
And she kind of like she said like I don't know what it. You know what I mean? She like I don't know. And then Nana was basically like, "Cause you gotta be dumb not to see like this nigga fuck."
Yeah, and she kind of like monologues like, "Damn." You know, I feel like if I had never, like, nothing ever happened between me and Takumi, like, I would have just been chill. I'd have still been in the green. Like, you know, I could have just did something, you know, had a relationship with Nobu and I would have been good. So now she kind of, like, caught in between, like, which direction to go in.
So is this, like, similar situation with Shoji, like, earlier episodes, you think?
No.
I would say no because they're not like established type shit. Like they just started, you know what I mean? They just started like hanging out and like fucking dating and stuff. So you know what I mean?
They don't talk to me, trust me.
Yeah, and Shoji didn't idolize, you know, Sachiko. He wasn't like a Sachiko fan or anything.
Yeah. That's another aspect too.
Yeah,
which is I guess what made Nobu feel so like insecure about it. Like not only did Takumi point out like you didn't have enough courage to ask her out, but with him, you know what I mean? With him like having the same dream, I'm trying to be in a band. This nigga's already in a successful band. You know what I mean? I felt like that. I could see how that would add to him feeling like, well, you know what I mean? Well, damn, I really can't compete with this nigga.
They
like,
kind of play
it's
the same
over.
instrument.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's.
It's just like, damn, I'm writing these songs that really aren't blowing up. You're writing, producing, going over the lyrics. You helping everyone go over. You pointing out other people's mistakes. It's kind of just like...
And you smashing the girl that I got to
and he did.
He literally says to Nana, like, I could never compete or whatever. And Takumi tells Rin when he walks off, like, yo, next time you see Nobu, tell Nobu, like, never in 1,000 years could he, you know, he match my level. About 3/4 through this episode, we get, like, our second scene with Sheen and Reira. What you guys make of that whole, you know, like, relationship?
Man, I honestly thought that Yatsu was going to figure out and have an issue with it because, of course, Sheen's doing all this stuff behind everyone's back and no one's really knowing about it. And I was kind of confused what Reira got. I was like, man, she's this huge pop star. She can get with anyone she wanted, or she could just hire a therapist and talk to them. So I didn't really understand what she really got out of it, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people online say like with the age gap that it's like really creepy.
How old is Reira?
Reira's 20.
Yeah, so she got
he's
like
15
20 or so. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I see that from that point.
That's crazy.
I guess I get the situation of like her being so busy that she's like, okay, I just pay dude for his time or whatever.
Right.
But no, that was a crazy scene where he's like, you gotta pay in advance.
Yeah.
That scene to me is just so fried when she's like, you know, oh, you left your chain over here on purpose. He's like, no, I was just being, you know, careless. You know, I'll be more careful next time. And she tell him like, nah, come on. And he like, nah, you gotta pay in advance. Like, I was like, oh man. Smooth operator.
I swear, he said, yeah, give me the money and I'll come back.
Man, where was the security guards at for her, man, when he was casually walking in there?
She let him know.
This might have been like her permanent residence, you know, versus like them just staying temporarily in the hotel.
Well, because I remember,
it was Tokyo, so they might have a place there. And they had been there for like a year because Ren had his own place basically. Like they wasn't in the hotel; they was at Ren's place type shit.
It kind of looked like a hotel. I mean, I'm wrong. It kind of looked like a hotel.
Well, I mean, it was an elevator. Like, I thought it was like a penthouse. I ain't gonna lie. Like when he was walking to the elevator,
it could be.
He was in the elevator shit. I was just like, damn, they got money. Like, okay, yeah, it's got a penthouse.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I didn't really think of it like that because they were still on tour. So I didn't really. Well, was they still on tour? I can't remember.
No, this is after the tour.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
then maybe
the whole blow up happened like after them celebrating. Hey, we finally did our last concert. The tour is over.
Then maybe they were. Yeah, then maybe she was out.
And I ain't gonna lie, they was gas and trapping us. It was like, bro, every record on their album was like Well, I think they said it was like over a million streams or something. Like them niggas was down there gold with every song or some shit, and it was doing a nationwide tour. I'm like, damn, these niggas really like that.
That mostly wraps up 24. We can get final thoughts once we finish it next week. Go ahead. You got any predictions?
Predictions?
Yeah, a little.
Let me think. Predictions. I don't know. I kind of got spoiled a little bit. You feel me? These two over here keep telling me that Nana's not gonna be my favorite Nana. So maybe she does something that paints her in a different light. But I'll say right now for predictions, I don't think Takumi and Hachiko are gonna work out. Obviously, that's definitely not gonna work. I think Nana and Ren will make it. They should. But then, you know what I mean? As how everything is right now, I feel like it would make sense if their relationship just, you know what I mean, just kind of continued on the path it was, or because it seemed like they have some sort of like understanding to, you know what I mean, to what they got going on. Other than that, man, I don't know, man. You feel me? Hopefully Nobu get his girl.
So
you
think Hachi's gonna end up in like a happy, healthy relationship?
Hachi? Yeah.
I mean, with this being a show, like I could see it. Like if she didn't, I would be like, well, nigga, what the fuck was the point of me seeing all this bitch flaws and her slowly getting over them if she ain't gonna, you know what I mean, end up in a happy relationship? That would, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't care, but that would be something that I'd be like, nigga, that's kind of weird. Like, why the fuck am I? You know what I mean? Like, why is this so character driven if the character isn't gonna become a better character? And you know what I mean? And I can see them and be like, okay, damn, they got their shit together, they happy. You know what I mean? This should be cool. Now, if this show just don't have a happy ending, that's one thing. But
I was just curious.
Nah.
What about Blast?
Blast, they gonna make it, bro. Blast gonna make it, bro. Them niggas hard. Just off of just seeing like how they interacted with like their first gig. You know what I mean? Like, and even though Misato, like, I guess people hearing her gush about him did make people be like, well, damn, I guess I'll stay and check him out. But afterwards, everybody was like, bro, these niggas hard. You know what I mean? Like Junko and Kyosuke was like, bro, these niggas hard. Like y'all presence, y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all stage presence and shit. Like y'all really are great artists. Y'all really are an amazing band. So I haven't seen anything that would make me like doubt their ability to make it or think that they won't like get their big break type shit.
Okay. For sure. All right, moving to this little outro, man. No new show to pick this week, obviously. Which next week we're gonna be doing part 2 of the same show. Man, if y'all like this video, man, please leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Got any friends that like Nana, share this with them. And if you haven't seen Nana, man, we highly recommend you go watch it. Check out the reaction channel, Otaku Perspective J. By the time you're seeing this, I should have like a whole Chainsaw Man reaction series out there. But other than that, man, you guys got any last words?
No, I just got high hopes for Hachi at the end of this, man. I had rough patch for the beginning, but right now, I got high hopes for her still, hoping she gets, what she deserves.
Okay.
In a good way.
Oh, in a good way.
In a good way. No.
I said, hold on.
She's already going through that right now.
I said, damn, hold on. Okay, why you feel that way?
Stay safe and be blessed, man.
Yeah.
Outro, man. I would say, hey, man, keep it real, keep it trill. Tune in. Feel me? Great podcast, great shows. If you got any suggestions, shows y'all want us to watch, shows we need to watch, please put that down in the comments, man. Like Jordan said, share this with everybody. Get the word out there, man. See y'all next week.
All right, man. Follow the social medias, man. Link in the description, man, for behind-the-scenes footage and updates. Other than that, man, see y'all next week when we review the second half of Nana.
Well, you rose